and welcome to John Said Saladcast on Saturday the 6th of October 2012. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me, Rob Kemp. And Zachary Burgess. Yes, indeed. Rob, you were just playing the trial version of the old original Jet Set Radio.
Are we jumping straight in, are we?
Oh, just for context.
That's not really what you've been playing as such.
No,
let's get
it's not.
scratching.
It's not.
You played it for a very short amount of time because it's a demo. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You're not joking, you're genuinely going to just browse Flipboard while we're like casting.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I'm going to read. Oh, you're looking for news. News!
I don't give away my secrets.
It's a new secret. Like,
it's
you've
not
never done this before.
Exactly. Never happened before.
No.
But
You have to like read the story before you have something to talk about. You're going to like read the headlines. Or...
I'll wing it then.
Are you not going to participate in our random intro?
Yes, indeed.
Which we've already ruined by almost immediately moving into news.
Okay.
I'm a vocal lady.
You're a vocal lady.
You're a vocal lady, right, okay.
Multitasking.
Oh, I see. Because only women know how to multitask.
Apparently.
Properly.
Apparently.
Indeed.
So the myth goes.
So goes the myth.
So goes it. Myth-tastic. So what have you been up to? How's your week been?
This is already feeling quite forced because we accidentally started news before we were ready for...
Yeah, that's why
I started what you've been playing first.
Yeah, exactly.
And then news. We're doing it in reverse order. Now we come back to bollocks. Which is the key part of the show.
Hey, come on back. We need more nads. Bring us the nads.
Do we need an intro, like, jingle for just the start, the bollocks?
Nads.
Welcome to the Nads section.
Nads.
No.
What?
Yeah, we've got
Too
that
similar to news.
Yeah. That's the only thing.
All our steps are the same as news, just with a different word replaced.
Well, yeah, basically. that is how it usually goes.
Our new sandwich review section of the podcast. Sandwich reviews!
Oh, I know what we can talk about that isn't really what... Well, it is what we've been playing, but also... we did a live stream.
Ah.
Yes, we were listening.
Not that it was live or anything. Not that anyone watched it live.
No one watched it live. That's because we didn't advertise for it. We were using it purely for recording purposes, mainly. Like, the first Saladcast Game Bite happened.
Game Bites.
We don't know whether it's going to be called that.
Yeah, which is a name we probably can't keep because there's a YouTube channel that's been running for a while called Game Bite. So, fuck that. We'll have to come up with something else. I don't know, how about just Munch? Or something stupid.
Salad Munch.
Salad Munch.
Doesn't need to have game in the title.
No, we probably need to have something like more video
game
gamey.
related. Yeah, okay.
Because Sourcast doesn't really. Then again, like Giant Bombcast, I suppose, and
Well,
Rock
that's
Paper
it.
Shotgun.
Well, they went out of their way, didn't they, Giant Bomb, to not have the word game in their title. They were like, everything's got fucking game in the title.
Yeah.
Let's just do something different. And we did that by accident. Kind of. Although our original site was about games.
Because fuck knows how we came up with that name. It was to do with an actual salad, basically.
The Happy
What?
Salad.
The Happy Salad.
Yeah, true.
And then for some reason we thought that was a good name for a website.
It was me, but it was Rob's song from.
Well, yeah, there's that as
music.
well, but
That was the key. It was called Happy Salad, wasn't it?
yeah, the song came first before the actual salad.
Yeah, that's right. And then I made the salad.
But still, why the hell did we think that was a good name?
It is a good name.
It's a fine. It's a name that no one else would have come up with, I guess.
Exactly, Happy Salad.
There's no copyright infringements or trademark issues.
It's
well, I guess there is, actually, but...
I don't think anyone has a branded Happy Salad, TM.
There's that Happy Salad oil, isn't there?
Is there?
It's the one thing that shares our name.
Oh, is that right?
Cross promotion, that's what we need. We need to get like...
So we need to start advertising oil products.
Yeah, and they could advertise the cast.
Deary me.
Get your greasy news. So we know greasy news.
I think it's better than a name than lots of names that are out there.
For lots of names.
Like Giant Bomb or Kotaku.
Well, what else could we call it?
What do those things mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What else would we call it then other than Game Bite? Because as I say, it's taken. We could replace the I with a Y, like Game Bite, but then that sounds kind of shit.
And it sounds the same.
Yeah.
Also.
Short video clip of Zachary Burgess playing a game. TM.
What does that shrink to? Oh, it's SVCOZP.
We just need to come up with a stupid acronym, and then it doesn't matter what we're saying, because people will just remember it as...
That's an OzPag. Spag.
So we did that.
And we could call it Spogs, some playing of games.
Spogs? That means something else.
No, that's Pogs.
No, not that either.
Spogs has a meaning, and not Sprogs.
No.
What's a Spog?
You'll have to look it up. I'm not going to.
Is it filthy?
Probably. There's probably also...
What, are you saying that you think there's a meaning for Spog, but you won't tell me?
Don't call it a Spog.
That also sounds dumb.
This is our new Spog.
Is an acronym that we can make that's kind of salady, that stands for something?
How is Spog salady?
No, I'm asking.
Saying,
okay.
I love my Spog.
Putting some Spogs in your salad. Hum.
Maybe we can make some kind of rocket-based pun. That could work. As in the lettuce.
Oh.
You see what I mean?
I was like, right, I see.
I'm a rocket
Possibly.
man. Rocket man. Spare parts organisation group.
Spog. Spider goes with a dog. Give a spider loyalty of a dog.
Alternatively, a Spog is a super pimped out gangster, or a slang word for any boiled sweet, possibly a Yorkshire term.
Look, it says, I move like a Spog.
Dan moves like a Spog.
Yeah, it's good to
So that's a dictionary for you.
Alternatively, salt, pepper, onion and garlic. A delicious mixture that can be used on cooked foods and enhances the flavour to orgasmic degrees.
Put some Spog on it. On a salad.
Put some Spog in our salad. Indeed. Anyway, you did a live, not live.
Yeah, we did a recording.
So yeah, we've got a YouTube channel and everything now.
Indeed. What's the address for listeners at home?
The Saladcast.
Right.
YouTube or whatever it is.
Or
However you do it.
How do you do it?
Just look for the Saladcast on YouTube.
And look for Happy Salad on livestream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Consistent branding.
Yes.
Success.
Yeah, I probably should have called the channel Happy Salad.
It's probably taken, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
But then again,
We should get it if it isn't taken. Just to have it.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's get it in there.
Oh, don't do that, listeners.
But not like they're going to get there before us.
No.
We've still got another 2 days before this actually goes online.
Probably.
Hashtag Salad Kings.
Salad castings.
Salad Castings. I don't know, which is our stronger brand? Happy Salad or the Saladcast?
Well, we tend to say Saladcast now, don't we?
Yeah.
But,
But it's Happy Salad on
it is Happy Salad. That is our brand, right?
Yeah,
Saladcast is specific to the podcast. If we needed to expand to other areas, we would.
Alright.
But this isn't a right.
Maybe I could just,
It's not a cast,
change.
right?
Maybe I can just change the channel name. I don't know how YouTube works.
It's not a cast.
Well, this is a podcast, right?
Yeah.
So
that's the
those
Saladcast.
these video things.
They're vidcasts.
Yeah. So do you want to? Do you want to do salad and some other suffix like instead of cast
Salad vid.
or something? Yeah.
Savid.
Salad bites or something. No, we did. We already came up with that, and that doesn't work because it doesn't have video games. yet.
Salad bite. What is that? Well, yeah. Slice.
Excuse me.
I don't think slice goes very much with salad, really.
Salad slice. A slice of salad.
Happy slice.
Oh, I don't know how that sounds like some kind of crazy serial killer. Happy slice. Happy slice. No, I think we need... Salad is more strong than happy. Happy... See what I mean? Brand-wise. See what I mean? There's lots of happy X things.
Happy chopper.
Happy camper.
I'm out.
Right.
So we still haven't got a name for these things.
No. And we did one. That was the important thing.
Yes.
This whole conversation.
I didn't even know what the game was yet.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So yeah, check it out. There will be more. Now
Maybe.
we know how to do it. What do you mean maybe? Of course there will be. It's awesome.
How did you do it, out of interest?
I came over here and we were
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. Use the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
No.
No, we had to. We
were thinking about it.
We need a better setup, but we were using headset mics.
Okay.
One or other of which rubbed on someone's face. I think it might be my one.
Really?
Well, it's because it was that little tiny stick one that was really close to my face.
Yeah. So don't take it as a proof of a final quality thing. This is our experiments to get it up and running.
Yeah.
So it does sound kind of scrapey.
Yeah, those microphones weren't great either.
No.
But that was the trouble, we needed game sound. as well as microphones.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so setting it up was kind of tricky.
So we had to have 2 headsets.
You can also
we had to use Rob's other sound card to have both outputs.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's also an example on YouTube of how not to do it with the crazy feedback loop that we had.
Oh, you put that out, did you?
Yeah, of course I did.
Great.
It's comedy. I think it has more views than the actual video.
Great.
How many views it got?
I don't know, I can't remember. But
12.
Yeah, something like that. Not many. Well, I didn't tell anyone about it until like a day ago when I put out the tweet. But...
Right.
So anyway, you did that.
And I also guest appeared on some of Kippers's live streams.
So you live stream magic unboxing shit or something?
No, he does the Twitch channel, not a live stream.
Same difference. It's a live stream.
Yeah.
Of what? Him playing COD or something?
Of him playing games all the time. Every game. Mainly Binding of Isaac, apparently.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all he plays.
He does a fuck ton of that.
What's the deal with that then?
It's a Zelda clone kind of thing.
Well, it's a,
old school Zelda clone.
roguelike.
Brutal-like.
Okay.
Network capability like.
But yeah, and obviously the one that I was in, well, there's been Borderlands, but we also were on the Left 4 Dead 2 one.
Oh yeah.
Where we actually got Kivers into a Left 4 Dead 2 game.
Yeah, and that was pretty good fun, even though we sucked bad.
We didn't suck that bad.
Well, some penalties, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, we used to have strategies and shit. So
what are we going to do? Right, let's get under the plane.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have ridiculous glitch
strategies. Yeah, it's all about jipping it. Every game, mostly.
Yeah. That's that. Lots of streaming it, not with us so much. Some streaming and some talking on microphones like this.
Yeah, check it out if you're interested in that kind of thing. I still don't really get it, sort of watching a Twitch channel like that because it's.
Well, you don't have to be like. You could be like browsing the internet at the same time or something.
I don't know. I kind of prefer it to be a bit more focused, I suppose, or be playing the game.
Well, the trouble is, I don't know if it's something that I tend, last night when I was trying to watch Giant Bomb was doing a live stream of Sim Golf.
Oh yeah, because Ryan loves that game.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck yeah, Sim Golf. But that's another one of those classic cases where I just had to turn it off after like an hour because I was like, I can't stand watching him fail at playing Sim Golf. It's just... Does
he suck?
Well, he doesn't suck as such, but he does everything. He's like... It's not that complicated a game, but everything he does, he was doing like super considerately, where it's like, okay, I'm going to put the T here, I'm going to put the whole here, and then I'm going to put a tree here, and maybe another one here. And it's like, Jesus Christ, just lay some shit down, it's a hole, it's not that complicated.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to the actual mechanics of the game.
Well, it does to some extent. Yeah. You don't have to be that clever. You don't have to consider absolutely every single square that you're putting down. You can just throw down a line of fairway with a tee at one end and a hole at the other, and that's probably okay.
Right, yeah. But did he get better results though by carefully placing every tree?
No, his course was still pretty bad.
Okay. So he carefully did it badly.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Golf critique.
So yeah, I had to turn that off after a while.
I think you should do a response.
Response in golf.
Yeah. Do you own that game? You got it somewhere?
I have it. I'm not sure I own a literal physical copy any longer.
Yeah, it's probably around.
It's like SimCity 2000. Oh no, actually I do still have the disc for that.
We've got 2K somewhere, haven't we?
What was the thing that I didn't have the disc for any longer? I've forgotten.
Well, Tony Hawk.
Oh, the Settlers 2.
Oh yeah.
I don't have the discs for any longer. Somehow.
You got that running quite nicely, didn't you?
Well, it's because they updated it in the good old games thing.
Oh, there was some news I heard. I don't know if it was probably before last.
Oh shit, yes!
But that someone has mysteriously, from Poland or Russia or somewhere, has mysteriously released these massive patches for Thief 2 and System Shock 2. And that fix everything and make it all work properly on modern systems and stuff. And nobody thought there was a whole community around modding these games because they're classics.
Yeah.
Nobody thought any of this stuff was possible. So they think because it's not open source. They never open sourced it, so they think he has access to the
code.
Definitely has access to the code, and people think maybe he was on the development team or she, because so wouldn't have been able to do this in the open, as it were. But they just released it, and suddenly it's like, oh, manna from heaven! Everything is like fixed and is awesome. So suddenly it's like now it's time to play System Shock 2 again. Which is kind of crazy, right?
It's the current trend, isn't it, I suppose, after Black Mesa.
Well, yeah, that was a whole remake.
That's not a trend!
Well, there's now like a few things happening, and like people patching old games to make them super better. And...
Yeah, but people have been patching old games for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Especially with the newer... as newer OSs came out and old games stopped working, that became more of a thing to try and get old shit working.
I guess. It just feels like a bit of a rush of it now. Because it was... Yeah, there's a difference between just getting it working and then actually making effort to make the game better, like OpenTTD and...
Well, OpenTTD isn't even really that. That's more like a complete ground rebuilding, isn't it? Because it just uses certain files from the original game, but on a totally new set of programming, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm not sure they ever opened the original, did they? So it's like, let's just build it
again,
yeah.
And eventually they're going... I'm not sure whether they said that eventually they're going to replace all the graphics as well in OpenTTD, so it doesn't have to use any of the original files.
I thought they did that.
They were most of the way through it, I think. But not all the way through. But it looks weird when they do that. Especially the really high detail. Because there's like normal, like regular detail and then like really high detail. And then it's like, this doesn't look right.
Yeah, they added an extra level, didn't they? And it's like an extra super detailed zoom level.
Well, not just the zooming in, but also actual, detailed tiles. Where it's just like, this looks too good. It doesn't fit with the actual way this game works. Which is not that, realistic, I guess, in some ways.
I'm not sure I mind that too much.
No, but it's just weird if you've been playing normal Transport Tycoon.
It's like the ill-fated Sonic 2 HD project.
Isn't there a completely rewritten Theme Hospital as well, somewhere, that someone wrote? That's like a new engine, similar to OpenTDD.
Maybe, I think I can't remember.
That would be sweet.
I think that exists.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But you just play the original.
Well, yeah.
That still works.
Yeah, sure. But I can't remember why. I think why they went to the trouble of redoing the whole thing.
Because they didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
it's got all the content in. It's got all the textures and everything. So that you must have to own Theme Hospital, right, to play it.
I wonder if I still have the disc for that. I don't think I do. That might be another one that I managed to lose.
Yeah.
Where did they go?
I don't know.
Did I have that? That might be in my parents' house.
Well, I'm pretty sure I actually had 2 copies of it.
Yeah, I think you did.
Because I had the original copy where it was just the green cross.
Yeah.
But then they had to get rid of that because there was some... They couldn't use a green cross. So they had to change it to like a green asterisk.
Oh, is that why? So you had the green cross?
Yeah.
I thought that. Yeah. Was that they got in trouble with like the Red Cross or something?
Pharmacies.
Yeah,
all those French pharmacies uprose.
Yeah, I guess it's a protected symbol, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure I had 2 copies of that at some point. But I don't any longer.
Boo. News! Speaking of old games, Dan enlightened me to recent iOS release, Revolt.
Great.
It's totally just the original game ported to iOS.
For no reason.
Why would you want to play it on an iOS?
Well, yeah, apparently like some of the reviews of it have been saying like actually one of the problems is that they haven't put in proper gyroscopic control for it.
Why would you want that though?
I don't know, it's kind of a thing, that's when you're using the phone. It's just easier to do that than it would be to have some kind of touch control because your thumbs would just cover most of the screen.
It's probably true.
Not necessarily, because you wouldn't have... Because that was the thing about Revolt, is because it was based on remote control cars, it didn't really have analog steering, it just had full lock. So you'd only have to push the left or right side of the screen.
No, true, but it's still, when you're playing a game like that, it still take up a reasonable amount of the screen space with your thumb.
Well, you have to be right on the edge, that would be the better.
Yeah, but then actually, like, the rocking would be so precise that it would be really awkward. It might work better on iPad than it would on phone, but...
Do radio control cars only have full lock steering?
Probably not any longer, but they used to.
Yeah.
In the old days.
Yeah, well, I seem to remember there was some degree of analog steering on old RCs.
Well,
it takes time for it to turn, right?
my good one that I had like that proper wheel, and that was analog.
Yeah.
And the wheels actually took quite a while to turn as well, even if you went full lock.
No, I seem to remember my old monster truck had a sort of level of analog in the left and right stick.
But it always used to be where, like the really old ones, where when you push the thing, and you could, if you were just holding it, you'd always see it because it would just be like, you just rock it backwards and forwards, and just lock on either side real fast.
But yeah, it's back. I wonder if it's got all the old music and stuff as well.
It doesn't matter though, because everyone knows that it's better on PC because you can put more levels in it.
Yeah, make your toxic
and the
nuclear city
Revolt community is still about.
Well, sort of.
Dwindling, but every now and then there's some stuff going on.
I made sure last time I realised that I hadn't, I made sure to rediscover and save on my external hard disk all the good tracks.
Oh, good.
That we downloaded before.
Yes.
Like Rooftop and Garden Free.
Yeah.
All those.
That's some great ones. It's a shame we lost all ours, though.
Yeah.
Because we did quite a...
Are they gone?
Yeah, they're lost. Annoyingly. And we put so much effort into some of them.
Well, it's because we put a lot of effort in because we were having to work within the ridiculously tight and awkward tools that were built into the game.
Yeah, because we didn't have the proper editor to make the levels like fully, did we? So we had to make it using the track editor and then use the inbuilt debug mode to
place extra objects.
Yeah, to modify things and. Oh, that was pretty powerful in itself. And then modify ini files to set some world settings and
change the colours and shit.
Yeah, and the ridiculous Uber fog. If you said it mysteriously wrong, you'd get this crazy thick fog that would cause cars to glow. Hence the radioactive.
Oh yeah, the radioactive city wasteland thing.
That was awesome. Yeah, because we timed some jumps precisely for that, so you could jump off something, and then you'd land in one of the pipe objects. But then, as you jumped into the pipe, you'd go through the radiation level of the thing, so you'd suddenly be in this glowy pipe. And it was pretty cool. And then there was all kind of shit you could do, like you could impart force, couldn't you? You could create odd blocks in the debug editor that would just randomly impart force on the cars.
Yeah.
So you could throw them about.
Make weird jump pads and weird acceleration
zones. Yeah. It was pretty funny. Yeah, that was a quality game.
I didn't like that game. I like the fact that you could replace the sound effects and it was retarded.
Well, it had a really...
Chunk, rumble.
Well, for the time, it actually had a fairly strong physics model, really, when you think about it. Like, given how old it is, it's like the physics in that game were pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right.
You could lock wheels with cars, like each bit of the car. It wasn't just like the square hitbox and stuff. The actual geometry of the car made a difference.
Yeah. Apart from they fucked it up from the demo. That was their only mistake.
Oh, what? Yeah, because the demo had a different physics model.
Or, at least different car handling.
Yeah.
That was much better.
And they made it a bit twitchier in the actual release.
And they also fucked up the warp power up.
It wasn't nearly as powerful, was it?
Well, they screwed it up because in the real game, it like makes you crazily barrel roll, but you always land the right way up, so it's always pointless. Whereas in the demo, it made you like do a crazy backflip, and you always landed on your roof.
Yeah, and it looked more awesome in general.
Yeah,
and I always felt there weren't enough power ups in the level design of that game, really.
Well, it's because they were always. It's like. There was a lot of extra ones that were in really awkward positions where it just wasn't worth your time to actually go off the racing line to get them.
Yeah. Some of the multiplayer were kind of fun as well, like the bomb tag mode, it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Remember that.
You can get a specialised area and someone's the bomb and someone has to not be the bomb by the time it goes off.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're out. That was pretty cool. And because you had the multiplayer mode added some controls as well, like the jump button. And stuff, so you could randomly flip your car into the air. Except some cars were at a significant disadvantage because it didn't quite work right with some of them. Because you could flip, and you'd always end upside down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of cool. It was a cool game. I never played the sequel, which got a PS2 release, but it's not held in quite such high regard.
High regard. Because Revolt's a classic.
Well, the original got good reviews and stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't do badly. I don't know how well it did.
Or something in PC Gamer, as you do remember.
Yeah. I think generally people preferred the Dreamcast version and stuff like that in terms of a game, because it's like, actually, this is pretty good for a console game kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
This is, but yeah, PC version just eclipsed it.
It's pretty.
Because even at the time, it ran like shit, didn't it? I mean, other way around, it ran like greased lightning. It was a pretty efficient game for the cards at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really good. Good game. Fuck you all, it's a good game.
Any other news?
So that PS3 Super Slim thing,
Yeah.
it was real in the end,
Right, okay.
and it's shit.
Why?
Well, because they're charging you more for it for a start
Right.
than the last Slim edition. Admittedly, I think you get, again, they've bumped the hard disk specs again,
Right, yeah.
I think, so you get more space, which makes a
More
bit
than
more
you
sense
need,
given, which makes a bit more sense given the direction that PSN is taking.
Fair enough.
But it's a fucking top loader. It's like everything I didn't want. It's like I know they're cheap to make, but a top loader, it's gonna break.
I guess.
And the
My
charging-
PS2 worked okay. The Slim
Is it
one.
going to break?
Yeah,
With
they
the
always
top
break.
loader.
All top loaders break in time. I've
How
known
many
like Tears of
old
Grey.
consoles do you have that are top loaded that still work today? Like all of them.
2 out of the
GameCube,
4 I've
Dreamcast.
owned. Like, but 2 Dreamcasts broke because the CD drive broke because they were top loaders.
Is it
I've
because
known
they
at
were
least-
top loaders, or is it because they were made of shitty hardware?
Maybe. But I've known 3 PlayStations, original PlayStations, that broke because the CD drive snapped in some way. Like, some people's, the spindle in the middle actually shattered. After, but I don't know, maybe overuse or something, I don't know. But you could no longer rest a disc in there. And it's like, the GameCube one was okay. I'll forgive
GameCube
the
was pretty
GameCube.
nice.
Its top loader was quite nice, but I wonder if that's because it was dealing with, smaller and lighter
Discs.
stuff rather than a fat disc.
Well, I had that kind of cool clip thing.
Yeah, with the button
With the
to
press
release
down.
button.
Yeah, that's nice.
It was,
Although the PS2 did that, and with the Slim,
did it?
it had
Maybe
a
it's
clippy
alright
thing.
then. I just don't like them.
Yeah, fair
If
enough.
I'm paying that much for a machine, I want a proper loader.
But lots of people don't like slot loaders.
Slot loaders are fine.
Eat your discs.
Or at the very least, put a drive load in, like the Xbox. I don't mind that either.
I'm fairly
Just
neutral on this. I
I
think
don't like a top loader.
might
It's
end
got a shitty sideways sliding cover and everything that looks really tacky. And
Probably better than an opening flap. Those are more likely to break than a slide, I imagine. Although a slide is a bit more... It's like if the spring goes in the slide.
Yeah.
But then that's not a problem because you just manually slide it.
no, I just think visually it just looks like a step backwards. It is a little bit smaller than the old Slim, but I don't really see, the old Slim was a step back visually from the George Foreman, and it's it just doesn't feel quite so well built.
Well, people are saying that the new one looks more like the George Foreman.
A little bit. They've got some of the curve back.
Yeah,
But it's I don't know.
because you've
I
got a
don't
proper
like it.
George Foreman, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got George Foreman.
And the literal George Foreman, which is mine, actually.
George Foreman. So actually, Kippers has the George.
No, yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, because that's never leaving that house.
No, apparently.
It's tainted.
Yeah.
But at least with the old, the new Xbox design, they actually made something that was, all right. It actually feels like a bit of a, the build quality of it feels like a step up over the old Xbox. Whereas every time Sony makes a revision, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
it's
it gets crapper. Yeah.
I'll take that back with regards to the old PSP revisions. They were actually fairly sensible.
I quite liked the Slim PS2 that I had. It was fine. It worked fine for me. I never broke, and I quite liked it.
Yeah. Actually, in fairness, I guess the PS2 Slim wasn't so bad because the PS2 itself wasn't exactly a looker.
No.
It was kind of an ugly console from the start with its weird grille.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange, skyscraper
Very
thing.
plasticky thing as well, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like that stuff they made. Admittedly, it doesn't really feel like it's going to break, but the Xbox was plasticky, but because of its construction, it felt super heavy duty and you're never going to break this.
Yeah, that thing is awesome. Massive chubble of them.
I even felt that about the GameCube, though. So even though the GameCube is, again, Fisher-Pricey, plasticky kind of design, it doesn't feel like I'm going to break it.
No, it's quite... Well, Fisher-Price, it's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Invulnerable stuff for kids.
Yeah, they don't break. I don't know. I know you don't exactly throw your console around very often, but it was a bit of. It's got to look good under your telly.
Does it?
Yes.
Look at that mess under your television.
Well, the only thing that looks kind of crap under there is the Wii. Sat on its speaker.
That's more because there's nowhere to put it, rather than because of it looking
crap. Sit on my amp, but yeah, I don't know, it's all right. To be honest, most of it looks crap because of the stuff that has to go with it, like the massive cables of the GameCube controllers and the charging dock for the Xbox stuff and the battery pack sort of like tucked aside, and the fact that
giant HD DVD drive sitting on top of your Xbox.
Yeah, admittedly, that can probably disappear. There's no real need for that anymore. Although I do have some HD DVDs, so on the off chance we ever want to watch V for Vendetta in HD.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe we could do that.
I did that fairly recently. Well, I say fairly recently, not that long ago. I've got a digital copy of that anyway. Yeah,
because that was one of those films that they actually had iPlayer license for. It was like, oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Like the other day, I saw on there. It was like, oh look, fucking Enemy of the State again. I can watch that for about the millionth bloody time.
That film rules. It was clearly awesome, and it has Jack Black in it for no reason.
Yeah,
and Seth Green also for no reason.
Really, have Seth Green?
Yeah, he's one of the operator guys like Jack Black.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious.
Oh, yes, no, I remember now. Yes, it does. Yeah. And Jack Black in a non-comedy role.
Yeah.
Well,
sort of. He's kind of...
There's some comedy involved.
Yeah.
Can you rotate that 10 degrees around vertical, please?
Yes. Classic.
Yes. The ultimate enhanced scene, basically, where they can, see things behind other things or something. Some kind of magical 3D imaging equipment that's in every shop.
Sex shop.
Sex shop, yeah. Random sex shop.
They need their security in that shop. Yeah. They just need to make sure they get every angle in HD. It's ready for the hood.
He's definitely changed the configuration of the packages in that bag or something. Well,
I think you technically probably could tell that from just CCTV footage.
Probably.
But not without the weird 3D modelling.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Indeed.
So yeah, news. What?
News.
News!
Any more stories of the week?
Cliffy B left Epic.
Oh yeah, that's a big story.
What? He did?
Cliffy B is fucking off, yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so that is quite big news, I guess.
Just like Ray and Greg left BioWare.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like everyone's leaving everything.
Yeah.
What? The big names of the industry? Kind of bored. So why is he leaving? Why is he leaving?
I don't know, I didn't actually read any of the story.
Well, he said he'd been with Epic since he was 17 or
yeah,
something.
He probably was bored.
It's I'm going to do something else for a bit. I don't know what
he's probably made his fortune now, so.
Yeah.
You should go and join 22 Cans, clearly.
That's where all the people...
they just end up.
Just the epic dream team of all the old developers.
And all they have to do all day is develop games based on those Molly Do
stupid things that Molly says.
Yeah, no, the Molly Do.
Well, that as well.
Yeah. The parody tweets.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Molly Do or Molly Do? Is it Molly No or Molly Do? I don't know how to say that. No. Move on.
What?
What?
So, yes, that's news, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know what it means. I mean, Epic are working on that strange new project, aren't they? That's all sort of very colourful and
zombies.
Totally different to Gears. It's not zombies, is it? Is it zombies?
Wait, was that Epic? Can't remember.
I can't remember what it's called. What zombie game are you thinking of?
That one where you building fortresses with zombies.
Made out of zombies?
No, not made out of zombies.
No, I don't know that one. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Zombie crap.
We are uninformed.
No way.
But regardless of that, there's Unreal Engine 4 or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For the next gen of PCs and consoles.
Yeah, they're really pushing, apparently, they're trying to put pressure on Microsoft and Sony to put more hardware, higher spec hardware, because they're look how awesome.
Well, that's what happened last time.
Yeah.
It was Gears of War.
Yeah.
It kind of worked. I mean, Microsoft put in double the RAM in the Xbox at the 11th hour, didn't they?
Yeah. And then people were like, well, how the shit do we get... Well, it's like, well, we've got this extra stuff to play with. What can we do now? I don't know. Go nuts.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I think, with the console life cycles just get longer and longer, it seems like it makes more sense to
build big,
top load with like crazy technology, although it hasn't worked that well for PS3 with the cell. But I think the lesson of that is to use a normal architecture.
Something awesome. But
that was I'm surprised they didn't learn that from Saturn, really.
Yeah.
No one learned anything from Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn was crazy.
No one paid any attention.
Saturn was the most bonkers hardware configuration ever. It had like one of everything. Well, no, it had two of every component you need in a console, basically. It had two CPUs, two GPUs, two different sound processors.
Yeah.
It had a fuck ton of weird shit going on. It's like, I think it had one GPU for 2D stuff and one GPU for 3D stuff.
Well, that's because it was never meant to do 3D and they just shoved 3D in the last possible moment.
One in when they saw the PlayStation. Yeah, it was just kind of, oh fuck, what are we going to do? Just shove a load of stuff in there, see what happens.
Fail. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the dev kits are supposedly out, aren't they? For the... What's the Xbox called? The project name? I think... I
they've both been out for a little while, I think.
Yeah, one popped up on eBay, didn't it? Yeah. Well, I haven't heard about the PS4 one, but the
I'm pretty sure it is.
The Xbox one I heard is Durango or whatever it's called.
Oh, yes.
Project Durango.
Durango.
Yeah. It might not be the final hardware configuration, but it is a dev kit, so...
It's like, well, here you go. Here's something more powerful. Start working for it.
I guess, yeah. Should see.
Still, Wii U out in 2 months?
Indeed. Are you going to be in line, first in line for the Wii U?
No.
Not until Smash Bros. Comes out.
No. Yeah, that's true. That will be my tipping point.
Apparently the Smash Brothers guy
didn't know.
Yeah. They were like, oh yeah, there's going to be a new Smash Brothers. And he's like, wait, is there? Am I doing that? What?
I was still working on Icarus at the time.
Yeah, it's hilarious. What can you do with Smash Brothers now other than just make it more?
Who cares? That's all I want. That's all I want is more Smash Brothers. Make it HD and I'm there.
But what do you do with the stupid Wii U controller thing? I guess that could work with Smash
Well, they
Brothers.
have like that new controller design, don't they? There's a new Pro controller.
I think what I do with the new Wii U controller for Smash Bros. Is make a shitty like kickstand for it and then just have it like a score display.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
I guess.
Or like just a random
Captain Falcon's face saying stuff, as we discussed previously. Even in Smash Brothers, it's just Captain Falcon commentating.
Falcon Punch. Well, it could be like the in the Pokemon levels, they have those grandstand screens, don't they? It could do that.
Oh, what? Where it's just like a weird zoomed in view of a different part of the screen. That's kind of weird, though.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. You could have it set up for spectators.
Well, it could be like an option as well, maybe. It's like maybe you could have it have various different things. Like it could be a scoreboard, or it could be like spectator cam, or maybe it could be like controlled spectator cam. So like what an extra guy who's not playing can like pan around the action.
But what could they do for like the asymmetric multiplayer for Smash Brothers? Like, could there be some way of like someone manipulates the stage?
Yeah,
probably, because that seems to be Nintendo's thing.
Yeah, the Picto chat level could become quite interesting.
Could become quite full of penises.
It'd be even better if people like recorded what they did on it, and that was like one of the online features or something. Was that it would
penises?
Was that it would download new Picto chat levels. I hope that's one of the things they kind of improve with this one, because the build a stage thing was a neat idea.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't that fully featured.
No.
So if they like extend that and have an option in the game so you could like, when it goes to one of your, there's like a low frequency of it, but it could periodically download a random level. Because you know how we like to play. We just like to play random shit all the time. Like randomize everything.
Yeah, but we turn off stuff.
We turn off a few levels, but it'd be quite nice, if it would be, if one of the options was in that list was one of your made levels, one of a random internet level. Go away, do it. That would be awesome.
Maybe.
Let's go have a completely unexpected fight.
Yeah.
That could be pretty sweet. I'm stoked, even though it's probably going to be a good few years.
You're stoked that it hasn't even got any kind of remote release date yet, or like anything about it.
Well, I'm stoked again because I played Smash Bros. Melee last night.
Yeah.
Which is still awesome.
Melee.
I still side on the. I'm still on the Brawl side, I think, just because there's more. In my classic Smash Bros. Argument, there's more in Brawl.
Yeah.
But Melee is still a great game. Still stands up really well. But it doesn't have the announcer going, Luigi.
It's the only important thing. As long as they bring back that voice.
That's the funniest thing about that character select screen. Mario! Pikachu! Luigi. Luigi.
Indeed.
So, yeah, Torchlight, I suppose, releases is news. Not Torchlight 2, because you've been playing it for a while, but
I talked about it last time.
Yeah, DOA 5 came out, and apparently it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Resident Evil 6 came out, apparently it's not very good.
Not very good.
It's pretty bad. Well, hell yeah. Wrath of the Dead Rabbit, or Revenge of the Dead Rabbit, whatever it's called, came out, and apparently that's not very good.
Well, sort of average.
Well, I don't know, I've seen quite a large number of terrible reviews for it, as in, it's an incredibly pretty game, but it handles like arse.
Didn't somebody just release a remake of Carrier Command?
Yep.
Yes, they did.
Is that any good? I mean, it's not going to exactly be as good.
Apparently the AI is atrocious, but it's an okay game.
Oh, right, okay.
And not like enemy AI, more like the AI of your automated vehicles.
Oh,
Right.
So they can't drive along a road.
That's much more
Awesome.
annoying.
Okay. I wonder how that compares to, Hostile Waters, obviously.
Nothing compares to Hostile Waters.
Oh my god. It's still one of those things where it's like, can they please someone just take that idea and make it good?
Well,
Not that it wasn't good in the first place, but just do it again.
Yeah,
Modernise it. Make it fit with current gen stuff.
well, the Carrier Command, I mean, it was inspired heavily by Carrier Command, right? Hostile Waters was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So doing Carrier Command is like a first step in that direction.
perhaps.
But I don't like... That's the weird thing about Hostile Waters, is I don't like the idea of Carrier Command being like...
Two carriers.
Yeah, like a fight between two equal sides.
Yeah.
The whole
It's
like
asymmetric.
Hostile Waters was meant to be like you're this awesome, powerful thing, and you're assaulting these super heavily entrenched positions.
Yeah, that makes much more sense, actually. Yeah.
Sort of like Return Fire, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like Return Fire.
You're a tiny fancy vehicle, and you have to shoot your way through this entire base.
Man, Return Fire is awesome.
Awesomely done.
It's pretty dumb.
Can you get that on iOS? That'd be hilarious.
You damn well should be able to.
There's another Happy game coming out. So, to follow on the Happy theme. Apparently, next week...
We only talk about games with the words happy or salad in the name.
No, but next week, apparently, the Xbox 360's first free-to-play MMO launches. And it's called Happy Wars.
Great.
Right.
Happy, happy war, happy, happy war.
Oh god, all the Yogscast claims.
Oh, apparently on the 3DS eShop, Nintendo is saying there's a new push mode coming out, which means Intelligent Systems hasn't been working on Advance Wars. God damn it!
No. Push mode's really good, right?
Yeah, but fucking Advance Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, what's push mode?
Damn it. It's like a puzzler, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a puzzle game where you have to build, you have to pull things out and push them back in to make staircases or whatever to climb up
That's
an
right.
object.
Yeah. And you can make arbitrary weird levels that are just pictures, right? I guess.
Pixel art.
Pixel art.
Because it's basically pixels.
Yeah, but not necessarily fun levels.
No.
Indeed.
And I
Advance
guess...
Wars, motherfuckers.
I know.
Oh yeah, that Worms Revolution game came out.
Yeah, it did. That was probably more than 2 weeks ago, though.
Yeah, probably. But it's Worms in 2D, but with 3D graphics.
Right. Okay.
It's just kind of... Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that will really work or not.
I'm starting to think no one cares about Worms any longer, really.
No, well, they haven't changed it enough in 20 years or...
Or when they've tried changing it a lot, they failed and made bad games.
Yeah.
Like when they tried to make it 3D.
Well, they weren't bad. They just weren't... They didn't
Good.
quite have the original...
They weren't bad, they were just...
No, they weren't. But they were... I'd class them as good, but they weren't as good as how the 2D ones played. They were just a bit too difficult. Really.
Yeah, well, it's because they didn't really make new systems for the extra dimension. like, trying to aim a fucking bazooka or grenade in 3D when all you can do is just rotate on the spot and, like, aim up and down, it's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
You need, like, aiming lines and shit.
Hey guys, bad news.
What?
Resident Evil 6 seems to be selling quite well.
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
But the Resident Evil game.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, it's a Resident Evil game, exactly.
God damn, but it's like... I hate it when, like, supposedly terrible games do well.
Well, that's their own fault. They're not... If they want to buy that and play that, then...
Well, I guess I suppose
have a
maybe...
sucky time, aren't they?
Maybe that's on pre-orders and stuff, I suppose, because it's like
Probably.
people may have pre-ordered it thinking, well, they you know, Resident Evil 4 was okay, was pretty damn good. Resident Evil 5 was okay. They can't mess this up too badly, can they? Can they?
That's what
and
they
then
always
they'll all
say.
be super disappointed and won't buy 7. And if Capcom have any sense, they won't bother making another one until they know what the fuck they're doing.
They're not going to make another one in this console generation.
Probably not, no.
So yeah, that's news, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've newsified.
News. XCOM comes out next week.
Oh, yes! Oh, I did notice in a little bit of news that they hit all their targets on that pre-order.
Yeah, I've got an extra copy of Civ 5 now.
Oh, have you? Oh, you could... Okay. You could just gift it to me and they didn't even need to pre-order it.
Or I gift it to Rob.
No.
Because neither of you ordered this, so now you get to fight over who gets my
No,
free
but
copy of
I've
Civ
still got
5.
time, right? To pre-order XCOM.
Well, I don't know. We don't know whether you get the bonuses if you pre-order after they've filled. I assume you do. Because that'd be really dumb.
Okay.
Well, yes,
But yeah, you've got like less than a week to pre-order it now.
Well, I think you're doing it. It's
Yeah, I don't know, it's
right?
because everyone's already received it, I think was the bit that got us confused. It's like, well, hang on, does that mean that they're just dishing them out, like, as they come in, or is it stopped because they hit the target, or...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might have to pre-order it. I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I saw that long, extended Quick Look EX thing.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I played the demo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go.
I guess that's what I'm not sure whether that was this last 2 weeks or more longer ago than that. But I played through the demo.
What
Okay.
you been playing?
It's not one word.
Enemy Unknown.
Games!
Games. Yeah, I played it, and it's, fine. The demo was just like tutorials, though, really, so it's not like... Didn't really give you any context for the harder stuff or how complicated it gets or any of the base operations. There was none of that in it. It was just like, go on these 2 missions, shoot some things. Although I did have a class... I did still manage to get at least one sort of, semi-epic, awesome, like, random save or whatever, doing something where it's like, oh man, I have to pull this off or it's all going to go horribly wrong.
Right.
And then doing it and being like, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
Cool.
Although it was a fairly funny maneuver because it was like it was the last enemy was hiding behind this building, and all my guys were at the front of the building, but none of them had any kind of good shot on it because it was like miles away in cover, and it was like 23%, and then it's like trying to shoot through a wall to hit it or something. But then and I was like, oh man, if my guys are just totally going to get murdered by it because they're much more in the open, they're not really in cover.
Yeah.
But luckily it was like, oh look, this one guy who has a shotgun who's been completely useless in this entire mission because I wasn't anywhere near close enough range for a shotgun to actually matter. He also has the stupid ability where you can move your full double move distance and shoot. So it's just like, leg it! And then leg it right up to the square directly next to the alien, and then just shoot him in the fucking face with a shotgun.
Awesome.
Like, that works.
Bravo. Nice.
So that was pretty funny. It is pretty funny that just because of the way it looks, where it's because it's all square base and everything.
Yeah,
and because it doesn't really react to the fact that you can be right next to each other. So it's like if you run directly into the square next to each other, you're still like in cover and sort of like looking around the cover at like literally at each other, like 2 feet away. It's like that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that sounds a bit strange,
but kind of funny. So yeah, there was that.
So is it good? Are you actually impressed and now more psyched about your pre-order, or
not more really?
But it justifies it. You mean?
Well, I guess it seems fine. It's just what happens later on, like how what the difficulty curve is, or what how important the research choices are, or whatever.
Yeah, it must be the difficulty must be dumbed down from the original, I guess.
Well, I mean, they made their big deal about having classic difficulty, which is like their hard mode.
I guess.
where it's meant to be actually difficult like the original was. But then I was thinking, like, do they mean, like, as actually as difficult as the original was on the easier setting or the hardest setting? Because the hardest setting of the original was fucking impossible! Or somewhere in the middle.
Maybe it tweaks the balance rather than rather than the actual like difficulty. Like maybe it's like a you can play it classic mode and it tweaks how some things work.
Well, that was also something else that I think I heard them say at some point, but I don't think they can really do that because everyone was like, "Oh, we want time units back" or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess they wouldn't be able to do that, but they may be able to tweak like how some weapons perform or how certain actions.
Yeah,
pan out.
But I think it's more likely just to be percentages.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Because that's the easiest thing to change.
Or, maybe it would slightly change enemy behaviour or something, so they behave a bit more like how they did or employ the tactics that they used to do in the original.
Well, I don't think they can employ the tactics they used to do in the original, really. Because in the original it was dumb. And now they actually have more options. Like, elevation and shit actually is kind of more important.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. They can prioritise stuff differently.
Yeah.
To maybe make it feel a bit more like that, but with new stuff.
It'll probably just be high damage.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, everyone
dies
a couple of hits, yeah. Real mode.
But also they have Iron Man as well, of course. In case you want to turn that on.
Iron Man.
Where it saves your progress every time when you can't reload.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No going backsies.
Yeah.
No.
So if you fuck up, you fuck it up.
Yeah. Sometimes those are cool. Like FTL does that, doesn't it? By default.
Well, yeah.
So should we talk about FTL then?
Should we? I'm just going to
you probably should.
This is what our video was about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see us play, from scratch, because neither of us had tried it before.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of funny. Maybe that's our thing. Maybe we play the games completely blind.
Yeah, but as we discussed at the time, it's like, or maybe not on the video, but shortly after the time, it's not like we actually have an opportunity to do that very often. Playing stuff completely from no knowledge obviously makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
But that isn't something that happens for us very often.
I guess you're right.
Probably not really.
And it might make it difficult for us to decide which ones we should play.
Yeah, also.
So FTL was like one of the early Kickstarter projects to actually get released.
The first, supposedly.
I wonder if that's true, but...
The first game. That's what they said.
And what was it? They got like 200k or something off Kickstarter, was it?
I don't know. Everyone wasn't paying attention to that bit. Paying attention to the bit where it looked like a good game.
Yeah.
And everyone was playing it.
And you know what? I think it kind of is. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to... I'm trying to think of the words to actually describe what it is, though.
Yeah.
It's a strategic space roguelike, I guess.
Yep, pretty much.
But it's not. It's a roguelike in a different sense, like not the Spelunky sense where the whole game is just like constantly. Like,
that's not a roguelike by most accounts.
Is it not?
Everyone's super pissed that everyone keeps referring to Spelunky as a roguelike because it's that.
All right, what is the definition of roguelike then? Come on, bring it.
Well, when people say roguelike, the whole point of the phrase roguelike is like the game Rogue, which was an ASCII dungeon crawler adventure thing, which was brutally difficult and had permadeath. And so the only way that Spelunky really is like a roguelike is like because it has...
And the deaths are
it's like
part of the game? Or?
Lots of death and like randomly generated levels to some extent. That's really all there is Spelunky that makes
roguelike, right?
So it's like everyone's pissed off about using that term. It's slightly better for FTL, I guess. It has more similarities to being like going through a dungeon, sort of, only in space.
Yeah, the whole game is basically a dungeon, isn't it, really? But when you get to the end of a sector, it just changes what you can see of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the class. In a way, it's a bit like those old... it was a bit like Legend of Grimlock in a strange way, that those sort of games where you had to just get through the dungeon and get to the end.
Well, yeah, that is sort of another element of the roguelikeness.
Yeah.
It's like, there's an end that you have to get to, but it's very difficult.
Those old, I don't know what you'd call those, like, I suppose dungeon survival, I guess, is a way of describing it, but... But yeah, they play pretty cool because it's like it tells its own random story each time, really, and like what happens in each section can be wildly different, and so it's a bit randomised your success or failure rate, really.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's the whole point of those games is if you get lucky with the random drops,
you
can do better.
But yeah, basically it plays out, and the big thing about it is more the combat element of it. So it's like you're fighting stuff most of the time.
Yeah,
and it's so whether you say fighting stuff, it's not like you don't move your ships or anything like that. You don't have control of that element of it, but you have controls about how you attack and what you attack is really the bulk of it.
You have to put power into different systems.
Excuse me.
Power into different systems and target different enemy systems.
Yeah. Is there how do you know which strategy to use? Is it like different enemy ships suggests you should probably try a different way of doing it?
Well, you just look at what they have, basically.
Oh, right,
when you first go into combat, you can see you can see their weapons sticking out the side of their ships, so you know what they're about to shoot at you, and you can see unless you've upgraded your sensors, you can't see in their ship, but you can see what modules are attached.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they have like a drone control, you're like, oh, they might have drones.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, you can know what to target first and that kind of thing.
Mm.
But do you have any kind of general tactic for dealing with bad damage situations?
Shoot weapons.
Shoot weapons.
Yeah, take their weapons offline, or take the shields offline first, so you can damage their rooms.
Well, yeah, it depends how thick their shields are, basically.
Yeah.
Like if they have
and what weapons you currently have equipped, because some weapons are better against shields, some go through shields, some ignoring them completely. Some are good at taking them out, so your other weapons can then get through. So there's an element of timing.
Yeah.
And then that's all complicated by the fact that you control your crew on the ship as well, so fires break out that you have to put out or vent into space.
Right, yeah.
Or the systems get damaged.
Systems get damaged, you have to go repair them, which then dramatically can affect you. Like if your sensor array gets fucked, you can no longer see what's going on.
And if your shields get fucked, then you're screwed.
Yeah, if your shields get fucked, then all damage goes straight to the hull and your rooms get very easily damaged. And if your weapons get damaged, that's a real shitter, because then you can't fight back. And in some ships, like you can choose to have a teleportation device, so you can board the enemy ship, and most annoyingly, they can board you.
Well, that's not that much of a problem, really. Once you work out the obvious tactics of
vent them to space.
Yeah, wait to see where they appear. Open as many doors as you can in the bit that they're in, so they start taking damage from having low oxygen, and then preferably, if possible, fight them inside the medbay. Because you just turn on your medbay and then you heal about as fast as they deal damage.
But you can't really control where they go unless you have because they just destroyed the doors. If you've got
well, if they go to door control, yeah.
Do you have any kind of you can't design your ship, right? It's just a set layout. You can't make a spaceship.
Yeah,
so that would be cool.
Well, I mean, that could theoretically happen. It's not that complicated a system, really.
It could be like an update, because they haven't really. Apparently, they ran out of time and stuff and effort, I suppose, to put in all the Steam features, Steam Workshop. And,
well, they got at least they got cloud saving working.
Yeah, but the achievement system isn't tied into Steam; it's all in game, and
that doesn't matter.
Well, it does if you want your S rank. But
yeah, but if it doesn't have Steam achievements, there's no ranks at all, so it doesn't.
No, I guess
you can't not have an S rank, I suppose.
That's true. Everyone has an S rank. So perhaps they could have done stuff like that. There's some obvious choices maybe for the workshop would have been extra events that could happen in the game, so you could mod, so you could have different events, mod so there's different ships and weaponry. And so it seems like a game that could be quite
easily expanded.
Yeah,
I think they probably might.
Or maybe that's why they didn't open it up, because they want DLC.
Or they want to be able to at least control it so it doesn't make a whole ton of dumb shit.
Yeah. But that's the thing, that's the argument that people have for Torchlight over Diablo and stuff, is that it's a much more open framework, so some people gain a lot of their fun from Torchlight for making it batshit crazy.
Well, the other thing I was thinking about that is if they do, even if it's not DLC, even if they only do, actual patch updates, they're not going to charge for it or whatever, I still think it's almost they need to put it into a different mode. It's they need to have, extended mode where it adds more stuff. Because actually, part of the difficulty of the game is the base set of events is a limited set, so to some extent, you start to know what each of these events might mean or what might happen if you go and do this thing.
Oh, I see what you mean. So yeah, you go like when we went to that station, and it's like, right, we could scan and look for stuff.
Oh shit, shield guy died.
Yeah, so we send someone down. It's like it smells like decay and death. Oh no, he's contracted some fatal disease. He's not going to make it. So we lost a crew member, and it's like that's a shitter.
Shield guy, no.
Yeah,
we didn't even remember his name.
No.
He only lasted about like 2 missions.
Was it Ken or something like that?
Ken the shield guy.
Yeah.
And at the time, Rob was like, oh no, shield guy is the cursed position. He puts someone in shields and then they die. And as it turns out, that seems to have been quite a lot the case all the other times I've played. I've had several times where shield guy is the guy who dies from the random events.
You can call them Shields after that guy from the hockey game.
Yeah.
Shields. Steve Shields.
Steve Shields.
Steve Shields.
Was it Steve?
I think it's Steve.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Shields.
That's a great name for a goalkeeper.
Good damn shield guy.
But I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. The soundtrack's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that helped.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's suitable. It's kind of, sort of, I don't know how, it's kind of chip in some ways, but not super chip sounds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's not believy.
It's kind of chip composition, but with kind of spacey 80s synth sounds.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Which just fades into the battle version of the music where it like gets a bass line or whatever.
Dang! Dang dang!
But yeah, you fly through space and fight things. And eventually you work out tactics to make yourself less likely to completely fail.
Yeah.
Because failing is what it's all about.
Don't rush.
Yeah, apparently. But then it was like, I think also like the different ships obviously are different.
Yeah.
And the in-game achievements, there's overall achievements that are just like achievements, but there's also ship-specific achievements where if you do certain things with certain ships, you unlock like an alternate room layout for that ship.
Oh, right, okay.
So that basically gives you like another set of ships, essentially. Because they are quite different, as I discovered with the one room layout I've unlocked. Where the original version of the ship is just like a sort of a basic ship that's focused more on drones. Right. But then the alternate version of that ship is a ship where you only have one crew member, but you have drone control where you basically have ship repair drones.
Right.
So instead of having crew members running your rooms and repairing the systems, you just have automated drones that do it for you, and you only start with one actual crew member.
One guy.
Does that mean you lose the crew bonus?
Yeah, that means you lose the crew bonuses to manning your rooms. But it does also mean you can do funny things, of just like have your entire ship open to space the whole time.
That's true.
Because the drones don't need to breathe, so if anyone boards you, they're totally boned.
That's quite funny.
Yeah, fires ain't no thing.
Yeah. And drones are pretty good at putting out fires even when you have the doors closed as well, so...
Do drones get damaged much by fire, don't know?
I haven't noticed them, I don't think
guess
they
they're
do.
metal. So.
Yeah.
I wonder if the rock dudes are like super hardy to fire.
That's their main skill, yeah.
Okay.
They're immune to fire.
Yeah.
But they're also super slow, so... And they're not really any better at putting out fire, which is the other problem.
Does fire have much of a drawback to the ship? Because I couldn't work that out last time. If it like damages the hull slowly, or
it damages the room system slowly.
Yeah, which is alright, I suppose, if that room's already fucked, and you could just close it off and leave the fire in there for a bit.
Well, the thing is that when a system goes to red when it's fully damaged, that also does hull damage.
Oh, okay.
Like one point of damage.
But it can't do any more.
I don't think so.
Oh, yes, it does. If you don't care about that system, you could just shut it off. And...
Yeah, but the trouble is, the fires still spread through the doors, even if you have glass doors.
Oh, really?
Eventually, you can't just leave fires in there forever.
Bugger.
You can turn off your oxygen supply because then the fires burn up the oxygen, so you don't actually have to open it to space to put fires out. In theory,
you could just disable your life support.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Take some crew damage, but...
No, because the fires burn up the oxygen faster than the crew breathes it.
Oh, I see.
So the rooms where the crews are don't actually get run out of oxygen before the fire gets run out of oxygen.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool that they thought of that.
I think that also depends on how many fires there are, obviously.
Yeah.
More squares of fire deplete it faster.
Because I'm loving the crew.
Yeah.
I'm loving the crew!
Exactly. That was
I was waiting to say that and you already jumped in there.
Well, it was in the video, so... We already made that joke. Several times.
Hell, I make it every 5 minutes when we were playing Guild Wars.
Yep.
Why?
Because the Asura have
their crews.
Asura, however you say it. Yeah, they have like groups of their teams. Their science teams are called crews. Spelled with a K.
And you're loving the crews.
So they're loving the crews.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Always be loyal to your crew.
loving the crew. So that was FTL.
Yeah, we got on a holiday on a
cruise ship.
Loving the cruise. I love the cruise.
And
we said that when we were going to a pinball party, didn't we? When we like
that was where we came up with it.
We went over a crest of a hill, and it's like, I'm loving the views.
Yeah, I'm loving the views. Yeah.
So I eventually finished FTL.
Katie Holmes isn't loving the cruise. Anyway,
because it has an ending.
Yeah, I heard that. It ends, right?
It ends
if you survive.
And
it doesn't take that long to get there, provided you survive, right?
Well,
we played for 2.5 hours.
Right. Yeah, we played for 2.5 hours. We only got to Sector 5.
Really?
So.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the comments that the games run that faster than that.
Well, if you die a lot, then yeah,
I suppose we did take more time and pondered things, but it's
and discussed things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you get to the end, and then there's a boss fight. Basically, there's a big end thing. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, there's a boss fight.
There's a thing at the end that you have to shoot. But yeah, it was like I started naming my ships with they have generic ship names, where it's like the Kestrel is the basic ship you start with.
Yeah.
So I just started adding like Mark II or whatever to remind me how many times I played that ship. But then it was like really dumb because I played the Kestrel. The first time you get to Sector 5, you unlock another ship, which is that drone control ship. And I played the original ship like 10 or 12 times and never got any further than how far we got in that video. Never scored any better. And then like the first time I tried that second ship, I made it like to Sector 7 and I was like, well, that was well easier. And then like by the time I'd done 14 or 15 runs with the Kestrel, on the third run with the other ship, I finished it and killed the boss. And I was like, wait, that was well easy.
Oh, okay.
What? And then eventually I have actually beaten it with the Kestrel as well now, which was a lot more difficult. But I've unlocked 2 more ships since then. Like, when you complete the game, you unlock an advanced sort of version of the Kestrel, which has a special weapon, which I'm most of the way through a mission with that now. It looks like I'm probably going to win.
Okay.
Because I've got some decent upgrades and stuff. I'm still looking for Cloak. Looking for the cloaking device. Because you kind of need that for the last boss. As I fortunately discovered that first time when I made it to the last boss with that second ship. It was like, on the system before the end, I was like, well, I've got tons of money. Why don't I just buy cloaking? And then as it turns out, you kind of need cloaking for the last boss. Because it had like a super weapon, basically.
Right.
Whereas like if you don't avoid it, you're probably going to take quite a lot of damage.
Right.
But
so you just cloak.
Yeah. But then I also unlocked this 4th ship where there was a series of events you had to find in space, and then like quest markers, and you had to go to them. And I unlocked this other ship, and it's I can't see how you can possibly play this ship because it's a stealth ship, so it starts with cloaking, but no shields. So you have to rely entirely on just dodging stuff. And the cloak doesn't recharge nearly fast enough to let you dodge a lot of stuff, so you're going to take quite a lot of hull damage, and then that uses up your scrap on repairs instead of buying stuff like shields, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like, this ship is well difficult. I can't imagine how you can make it to the end. But yeah.
So it doesn't actually have a shield system at all?
No.
That you can upgrade?
No. It doesn't start with the shield. And annoyingly, the shield system costs the same as the cloak system. So it's like 150.
Can you make a stronger hull or something in that one? Or?
I don't think so. It does have an upgrade that makes it so that like systems take less damage. Yeah. So there's a chance that your systems won't get completely killed every time you take a shot to the hull.
Yeah, that does sound hard.
I guess you have to like really spend as much money as soon as possible on just upgrading the cloak. So you have the longest cloak possible.
Can you firewall cloak?
You can if you have the stealth weapons upgrade, which I think it starts with.
Mm.
But it also has ship weaponry to start with as well, which doesn't help.
Yeah, can you break the shields of enemies that well? Or do you come with Artemis or something?
No, it doesn't have a rocket. It only has a shitty shield. It has a shitty laser and a beam. So you really can... as soon as enemies get past 2 layers of shields, you're totally boned unless you find another weapon.
Bonioed.
So yeah, that ship is well difficult, it seems. So yeah, that's that. I
How
guess
many ships do you think there are?
you can see because there's an unlock page. There's 9 ships, but I haven't really seen any hints of where to get the other ones apart from one other random event that I found that I think probably leads to another ship where you like find a fucked up stasis pod. And then it's like, we don't know what to do with this, let's just take it with us. But I never found the other end of that event where it's like, here's the guy who knows what to do with this.
Right, okay.
I don't know why this reminds me, but have you seen that crazy ass game that came out fairly recently, Tokyo Jungle?
Yeah.
How bonkers does that look?
Japanese.
Yeah.
Japanese bonkers, that's the answer.
Are you familiar there?
No?
Right, essentially...
Jungle are quite obsessed with it, or, well, one of them is.
It's just weird. It's like... Basically, there's this post-apocalyptic version of Tokyo where the city actually looks fairly intact.
Yeah, classically.
Except a bit in a sort of I Am Legend style. It's sort of, wild growth and stuff has happened. And all the pets and animals and zoo animals have all escaped. And now it's like the dog-eat-dog world, almost literally, of surviving the Tokyo jungle, but it puts you in the perspective of one of the you can be one of the animals of any race pretty much that's there in any species.
Random elephant.
And then you have to try and survive. So like I forget the breed of dog it is, Pomeranian or something.
Tiny dogs.
Yeah, like the little
start with
little fluffy
upgrade
handbag dog type things, and you can like take on bears and shit.
Only you can't. You can die.
Yeah. But it's weird because it's like the concept sounds utterly bizarre, and it's kind of arcadey in that you have to keep your food up the whole time, but your animal ages like 1 year every minute or something, so you have to breed and stuff like that, and then your son or daughter takes over, and you have to lead your clan of animals or something to just stay alive. And it's basically just a survival game. You stay alive for as long as you can. Although there are missions and stuff which do things as well, but it just looks bonkers.
Yeah, like, kind of the same game as FTL, basically.
Yeah, it's one of those like, how did it? Well, a little bit, yeah, but it's sort of like
it's another roguelike, I suppose.
I guess. It's just sometimes it begs the question though with something like that because it hasn't got a high production value. Like the graphics are pretty shoddy.
Yeah,
they look like they could have been on a PS2 or last gen stuff. So it's not great in terms of that, but it's like, who green-lighted that project?
Japan.
Japan, we're like, green lights! We're Japan! We're going to green light Tokyo Jungle.
Japan don't care.
Exactly.
China don't care, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that was my what the fuck game of the week.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah.
Now, what else have I been playing?
Indeed, it's the question.
Even more stuff. I played quite a lot more Borderlands 2. And then this week I might be more capable of actually talking about that.
Okay.
I totally can't remember a single thing that I said last time, so I might repeat myself.
That's alright.
It's quite possible.
I don't think you said much about Borderlands.
No, I don't think even though I talked for some time, I don't think I did say that. I
think we asked you about the interface and things. And
yeah, and about the guns and stuff.
I think I definitely remember describing the terribleness of the inter-player trading system.
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easier. It's still easier to chuck stuff on the ground.
Yep.
It's no longer the way to do it, but it's still easier.
Do you use the mark as trash feature? Oh, the mark inventory.
Yeah,
stuff.
the mark is trash, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Because, I've heard some people were like, I don't understand the point in it, because it's like you still have to go to a store and say, sell it, and then it's like, and the marking of the things is what you'd be doing at the store anyway to say I sell it. But I suppose it's like just nicer to keep it all sorted in your inventory. Or
well, it's more like it's easier to keep on top of like your inventory as you go.
Yeah, it's like I do remember from the first game, like occasionally sort of just having a look at it and go, wait, which of these is the one I wanted to keep?
But then again, that's what the thing is. It has the mark as trash thing, so you can mark things as trash and then hit the button to sell it all. But it also has favourite. So then you just favourite the weapons you're actually using, so the mark as trash thing is entirely pointless.
Oh, yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah.
The favourite thing is almost more useful.
Yeah, it is really. You can just casually mark all your guns that you actually want to use and then keep a hold of.
Star them.
Yeah, it is a star, in fact. Predictably. The favourite symbol.
Apparently.
So, what was I going to say? I was going to talk some more about characters and shit. I'm not sure whether I mentioned it last time. I think I probably did because it was one of my major problems.
You did say that the old characters from Borderlands 1 are in it, but that you played in Borderlands 1 are in it, and they've been given, like, characters.
Yeah, to some extent.
It's a bit strange.
But they are still... even, like, from what there was of their characters in Borderlands 1, what they do now still sort of makes sense for that sort of character.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of matches. And I'm not sure whether I mentioned it last time, but my big problem with the fact that voiceover is constantly coming on and then being obscured by gunfire.
Right.
People are always talking to you, and you can never hear it because you're always fighting something.
Can you turn subs on?
Yeah.
And does it they appear most of the time?
Yeah. But you still can't read it when you're fighting.
I guess.
That's true.
And also it has another equally annoying problem of, like... It's a problem of sort of the interface where when you're, like, opening shit and picking shit up, especially with, like, the ammo drops or whatever, you're just, like... You're running to all these containers and being like, open, pick up. It's just like, you're hitting the button. But occasionally, there'll be a thing that's actually a thing that's going to tell you, like, it's going to start a voice recording and, like, have a bit of plot or something. But you're just like, pick up. And you're like, oh shit, I just picked up that thing. And oh shit, it started talking and stopped whatever was just other happening talking.
Yeah.
So it's real easy to accidentally, like... stop something that's playing and start something else, and then you can't hear what the original thing was saying. It's particularly bad. There's some missions where there's like, you go into this guy's basement and you have to find his like 4 different recordings that like different parts of this story that it tells you, but they're all just in containers around the room. So when you're looting the room, it's like, oh no, I start the next recording. Fuck.
Oh damn.
It sounds like this is quite a common complaint. This one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. It's like they needed... Well, the thing was that everyone's main complaint about it is they had a solution to that problem in Borderlands 1, where your mission log stored all the voice clips as well, so you could go back and play
them. Right.
The actual voiceovers from any part of any mission.
That sounds good.
But that doesn't exist in Borderlands 2 any longer, which is kind of dumb.
So that is a weird decision.
To remove something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then... So the other thing I was going to say about characters, I didn't really talk about the actual Borderlands 2 characters very much, apart from saying that the Siren is not nearly as cool as the original Siren. Well, although I've sort of maybe started to come around on it a little bit. Once you get... Yeah. Once I got my, like, phase lock abilities upgraded to be... Because of the way I've only gone down one of the trees, because it's like, you know, you have these 3 different trees that have slightly different play styles. Mm-hmm. And I wanted the one that just gives you better regular phase lock. So now that I've got my phase lock, it's like I've got it as higher as I've got level 5 in the skill that makes it longer, and I've got a class mod that makes it even longer. And then I've got level 5 in the one that makes it cool down faster, and an artifact that makes it cool down even faster. So I can basically do phase locks a lot and really fast. And then I've also got the skill where if the thing that I phase lock dies, it homes onto another thing.
Oh, okay.
100% of the time.
Oh, cool.
Because that only starts at like 20% at the lowest level.
Right.
But I've maxed that out as well, so it's 100%.
It always happens, right?
So it's kind of awesome now. So I can always have things phase locked and it recharges really fast. Although, it would be nice if the homing feature of the phase lock was actually a little bit better.
Okay.
Because it's sort of like, well, it's really slow. It travels through the air, so it's like, as it flies through another target. And it doesn't seem to have a very good turning circle.
Okay.
And it can't go through obstacles, so sometimes it would just get up against the wall and be like, beow, beow, beow. It's like,
bounces off the wall. Okay. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, so it's okay if you're in sort of a more open space, but it's not so hot if you're... Although it can be quite funny if you're if you phase lock an enemy that's spawned out of a door or something, then kill him, and then the next guy spawns and it immediately just picks him up. It's like, count the spawn with your phase lock ball.
I heard you could change it to thought lock.
You can, that's the last level of that skill tree, is to change it to makes enemies fight for you instead. But I don't think that's actually as helpful.
Yeah, it's like which... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather not change it permanently, I think. It's
yeah.
I never like those convert to your side powers in games.
No.
They're never really mine.
I just don't think it would be that powerful. I'm not sure how much damage enemies do. That's the main problem. Because it's impossible to tell how much damage they do to each other compared to you, or
but then would it like home the fortlock? So when that guy dies, it takes over another one. And
it would do.
That could be pretty useful.
It could be, and also the other trouble with the idea of fortlock is whether it like how high level enemies it affects. I assume it works the same as phase lock because there's certain enemies that you can't phase lock and it just does damage to. So it would still do damage to them. But then the trouble with that is that when you change it to fortlock, it also the cooldown gets longer. So if you do hit a target that you can't fortlock, you can't get that extra damage as quickly. I think is the main problem with that.
And presumably it won't do much to bosses either.
Well, that's the kind of enemy really that you can't hit with that.
I hear there's less bosses in this one.
Yeah, I guess.
Which is just a bit of a shame because the bosses were always kind of cool.
No, they weren't.
I quite like the bosses. I like
just like a big dude that took more bullets.
Oh yeah, but I kind of preferred it because there's a sort of more of a sense of danger about it, and it's sort of they were legitimately like they weren't ever really bad. There was something like there was always something interesting about them compared to the rest of the game. It was nice to have something that was a one-off.
Well, there is still. There are still those, but it's also now that the general enemies are generally better. It does make the general fighting a bit more interesting. Like they're
Yeah, well, I don't know. I always thought it was a bit of a disappointment. The first game, I kind of wanted more of those, like just events almost. They're like, oh, something special is happening, rather than wandering around and shooting guys. I want more of the special. It's and they always had those cool intros and
well, they still have those.
Yeah, and the sort of like in the little like here's a guy and here's a stupid tagline describing that guy.
Yep, and there's still plenty of that.
Yeah, because that's still cool.
Still,
but there wasn't enough of it. Damn it! It's like you started off with several of them, and then it just sort of stopped for hours on end, and then you'd see one more, and then it'd stop for hours, and then you would see another one for a long, long time.
Yeah. I guess you see them. I don't know if I'd say you see them more frequently, but that's because they're it's sort of more compacted, and also there's a lot of them right at the start of the game where all the old characters from Borderlands 1 get reintroduced, like Scooter and Dr. Z and all them. Yeah. They have their stupid thing again.
Does it do the? Are they all done in video still? Like, does it rely on video versions to do things like that, or is it all in-game engine?
I haven't really noticed.
Because that's still. You were saying. I remember when Dan said back in the Max Payne stuff, there was something nice about it. Like when there isn't a harsh jump to video.
Yeah.
When the actual game looks better than the video. And it's like, and that happened in Borderlands 1.
Well, if it is using video, it's not distinctly different looking. It does sort of still fade out. Like you open a door to like Scooter's face, and then it like
a door to his face.
It like fades out and then fades into him sitting in a chair, and then he just says something dumb, as you would expect. Also, people saying dumb things.
Right.
This whole game is about people saying dumb things and retarded references to stupid shit.
Like what?
Well, I think maybe
references.
Possibly the most annoying example is the Commando dude. There's lots of like internet meme references in general, but the Commando dude is maybe the worst because quite a lot of it's one of his repeated sound effects for when he gets critical kills. I think it is. But just occasionally he just goes, cool story, bro, when he kills someone. And that's kind of annoying after a while.
That would be annoying.
And also the achievement for finishing the game is called Cool Story, bro. Which I guess makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
High five, bro, would have been better.
That wouldn't have made any sense either.
No, but it's slightly better than Cool Story. Because it's like, you just killed a guy. There's no story behind that.
Do you ever see that Cool Starry bra post picture? Well, it's a blue bra with stars on for the beach or whatever. It's labelled Cool Starry bra.
Yeah. But then there's sort of ridiculous references. Like there's a mission where the mission is called Splinter Group.
Splinter Group.
And then you pick up a pizza. And then you go into a sewer.
Pizza.
And then you fight 4 colour-coded enemies with certain names.
Right.
Like Dan and Lee.
Okay.
And then at the end you fight another enemy who I can't remember what his name is. But it's like, oh look, this is the retarded Ninja Turtles reference.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, where it's really stupid because it's like, oh, these dangerous mutants have escaped. And then as you're going into this area, the person comes on the radio, it's like, cut them no slack.
God. That's quite funny.
Yeah, that is fairly funny. But yeah, it's just like, that's one of the ridiculous references. And there's a much less subtle Minecraft reference where it's just like, you go into this cave and there's just Minecraft blocks and creepers. Oh. It's not even like enemies made to look like things from Minecraft, it just literally is enemies from Minecraft.
Weird.
That's kind of cool.
To shoot the creepers.
Yeah, and then they explode. And then there's a badass creeper. And then it drops a skin that gives you Minecraft coloured clothes, and you can get another thing which is just the giant blockhead.
Awesome.
So yeah, kind of dumb.
That's neat. I like shit like that in games, though.
Yeah, but there's quite a lot of dumb, stupid things. There's also a funny side mission, which is like, I think there's an achievement that's like, where the achievement is just like, well, that was easy. Where in this random bit of level, you just find one of those psycho dudes, and he has a mission marker, and you go up to him, and he's like, shoot me in the face, and then you shoot him in the face, and then you're done.
Mission complete.
The mission is just called shoot this guy in the face.
Not the fast. That's really stupid.
Oh, that's great. Shoot me in the face, alright?
It's very Gearbox.
Yeah. So it goes on like that. And also, like, the assassin dude, a lot of his stuff is haikus.
Oh.
Like, random things that he says are all haikus, which is kind of funny as well. Also kind of annoying after a while, because they repeat.
Yeah, I guess the sounds in the first one weren't actually that bad, were they, really? Because they were kind of generic, I suppose.
Yeah.
They were just like, mine and mine.
Well, that was quite annoying, the chest opening sound effect.
Yeah. Or like, as the Berserker would do. Just kind of...
Yeah.
Well, and perhaps the Berserker's Berserk sound effects were
that was also... like, the Gunzerker version of those are a little less ridiculous now.
Yeah.
They're sort of along the same lines, but a bit more sort of toned down and quieter. He sort of hums to himself sometimes, or sometimes he does get a bit, like, berserky sounding, maniacal laughing. But sometimes he's just like, as he's cutting the showers off. So yeah, I've now played all the classes to see what was going on.
Okay.
I had a lot of trouble with the Gunzerker, because this is something else I wanted to talk about, is like, the start of the game is kind of rough. It's like, you don't have nearly enough ammo, and like, it's kind of annoying to kill things, and it goes on like that for quite a while, but then like, once you get over that hump, it's like, oh no, it's fine. So the start of the game kind of sucked.
Kipper's commented out on that as well, like just ammo is in serious short supply.
Yeah. You run out well easy. And that's a real problem also, because at the start of the game you only have 2 weapon slots.
Right.
So theoretically you can have 2 different types of weapon, but then if you run out of that ammo, which is quite possible, you then have to like go to your menu and then swap your weapons out to go to a different weapon that you've got that haven't used the ammo up for. So that kind of compounds the problem. And of course, if you're playing as the Gunzerker, you use both of those weapons when you're Gunzerking.
Oh, right, of course.
So you have no fucking ammo.
Yeah, so you just use all your ammo really quickly. Although it is quite early in one of the Gunzerking skill trees, you can get, like, regenerating ammo, which helps, although it is still possible to run out. So yeah.
How does it regenerate? Do you just wait?
Well, it's just when you're in the Gunzerk mode. I think, I'm not sure whether it's regenerating or whether it's like sometimes when you're firing you just don't use ammo.
Right, yeah.
Like a percentage chance. So yeah. That was a problem for me when I was playing Gunzerker. But then the other thing was, as I discovered, I finished the game like once through, and then it unlocks your like second playthrough or whatever, where the enemies just get harder and you carry on leveling up and all that. But as I was going, well, like, when you start the game for the second time, it's almost the same problem again, but not because you haven't got ammo, it's because when it starts the game over, all the guns that you've been using up to that point are suddenly shit. So they do, like, no damage, so you just have to dump 1,000,000 bullets into anything to kill it. And then you have to basically replace all the awesome cool weapons you've just been using with shitty weapons that you've just picked up off the floor that deal, like, twice as much damage. It's like, that's kind of annoying.
When does that happen then?
When you start the second playthrough.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
It's got a different name now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called True Vault Hunter mode or something. rather than just play through 2.
New game plus.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of annoying, especially when you've got like all my weapon slots are full of awesome purple weapons that I've been using and are totally awesome, and all my grenade mods and shields and all this shit, all purple and have been totally awesome, and then suddenly they're all totally shit. Now you have to pick up whites and greens and start over.
Well, at least that gives you something to work towards in the second playthrough, rather than just sticking with the same.
Yeah, but it just kind of makes the start of the game suck again.
Right, yeah. You want the crazy shit to still be about, I guess, from the start.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, theoretically, a lot of the weapons you're going to get again, because, well, a lot of the good weapons are the stuff that you get from bosses, so you're going to get those again, probably, only in a higher level version.
Yeah.
Or from missions. So, yeah. It's just that I didn't expect it to be quite as annoying as it was. Because everything, if you're just using your previous weapons from the first playthrough, everything has so much freaking health. Where it's just like, I'm offloading an entire clip of bullets into the head of this fucking marauder.
Doesn't even notice.
And he doesn't goddamn die. So yeah.
That sucks.
Kind of annoying. Although on the plus side, at least in the second playthrough, they don't limit what weapons you can get. Because when you start the game originally, you don't get any SMGs or rocket launchers for quite a while.
But yeah, that happened to the first game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like that in the first game. But luckily it does do that in the second playthrough. So at least I found some shitty SMGs that I could use.
Okay, that makes sense.
But also, the other thing that's slightly better now in the second playthrough of Borderlands 2 is that, like, the enemies aren't just stronger, they're actually different. Like, now you get psychos that have armour, so they count as armour as targets, so you actually have to use corrosive damage to do any decent amount of damage to them.
So we use against armour, not piercing, but
No,
corrosive. Okay, to burn through the armour.
Yeah, basically.
Would you have to have
Or
acid
could you just zap them and it would just electrocute them through it? Or...
No, that's shields. Not armour. But then so when I got...
But that would make sense, surely, if they just have armour and it's made of metal.
Well, you assume it's made of metal.
Yeah.
But then that was the thing that I, like, at the start of playthrough 2, as soon as I picked... I found 2 SMGs, one of which was a slag SMG, and that, the idea of slag is, like, once you get the slag effect on them, they take, like, more damage.
Right.
So then at that point I was like, I could actually use this, because I hadn't needed to for the whole first playthrough, but I was like, I'm doing so little damage, I can actually use this the way it's intended, shoot the slag gun until they get slagged, and then switch to another gun and deal more damage.
Right, yeah. That's the way you're supposed to use it.
Right, so slag is like a condition that you give to things.
Like poison or something.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, but the trouble with that is that the weapon switch takes such a fucking long time.
Oh, no.
And the slag condition doesn't last very long. So it's like you're wasting all this time after it's like, it's better in co-op where it's like, I'll slag them and you shoot them.
And you shoot them, yeah.
You slag.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot it, you slag.
Yeah. Too fast.
So that was Borderlands 2. I finished it, in case you missed that part where I said I finished
Where
it.
you said you started a second playthrough, yeah.
Is the end boss as crap?
Not as crap. Well, the thing was, without going into spoilers...
Don't go into spoilers.
The thing about the first... Well, I can spoil the first Borderlands boss, because it's not a spoiler at this point.
No, I think we're spoiler-free on that one. Go nuts.
Well, the thing about the first Borderlands boss was you just stood behind some pillars and shot it.
Yeah, you could stand still a lot.
Because it had a giant laser beam that just didn't... You could just stand behind the pillar, and that was its main attack.
So you didn't really move from behind these pillars, because you still often had an angle to shoot things.
So that was the problem with the first... And I'm pretty sure at some point they said... someone said, we recognise that was the problem with the first one, and we've, everything's more dynamic now, we want you to move around in combat, and that's why all the enemies dodge and stuff, and flank you and make you move.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, as it turns out in Borderlands 2 Last Boss, they still didn't really solve that problem. I spent a lot of the time sitting behind a wall where it couldn't really shoot me.
Awesome.
Although it does, it moves around a lot more, so you have to actually move away from that wall and maybe to a different wall.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, they didn't quite solve that problem. They got a bit closer.
So do you have a bank now?
Yeah, you do.
It's not DLC?
You do, but it kind of sucks. There's just not enough space. So you're always still having to chuck shit out all the time.
There wasn't a lot of space in there.
There wasn't, but there was more.
Yeah.
There's more than there is in this.
Well, maybe they're still planning on expanding it with DLC then, I guess.
Yeah, quite possibly.
They need to think of some little crappy things.
Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention, also trying to avoid spoilers, it's like at the end of Borderlands 1, you have that mysterious guardian angel that turns up at the start of Borderlands 1 and is like, do this, do that, go to the vault. And then at the end it's like, oh no, it's like it was a Hyperion satellite or something.
Yeah.
Or something. But then in Borderlands 2 it turns up again, right at the start, and says, follow that claptrap robot. And it's like, wait. It's the same thing's happening again. And just like in Borderlands 1, for some reason you just instantly trust this random transmission that's coming into your head. It's like, yes, I will do that, mysterious voice, why not? But then the other problem with that is there's basically sort of two twists, sort of midway through the game and then not really at the end, but sort of closer to the end, to do with that, and it kind of fucks the whole thing up, where it makes even less sense than it already made. Right. It's like, and like, almost one of the first things it says to you turns out to be a complete lie, and it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You did something in the world, and you said this was your reason for doing it, and it turned out that wasn't the reason that you weren't what you said you were, and and it was like, what?
But that just proves that AIs in satellites can lie.
No, it doesn't. I'll tell you that.
I've got to play the game, right?
Yeah. It's just like... My main problem with that sort of plot twist is, well, the first twist is fine. It makes sense. Whereas, like, obviously... And you're like, that's not really a surprise. The second twist is just like the ultimate retcon. It was like they were trying to make a story in Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
And for some reason they decided to tie it very directly to Borderlands 1 story, but then it like, at the point where it connects, it doesn't make any sense.
Right, so it doesn't actually connect. Okay. Oh, that's kind of a shame.
It's kind of weird.
But does it work on its own if you forget about it, try to connect to the Borderlands 1 stuff?
Not really, because they directly connect it in the game as well. Oh, right. Like, you can find audio logs where it basically... It has audio logs that include the voice from Borderlands 1, only with extra bits on either end that kind of describe what was happening around that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's what was happening when the Guardian Angel was talking to you in Borderlands 1. Here's some stuff before and after that specific phrase was uttered. And that makes even less sense again. It's just like you've tried to link it, but then it doesn't make any sense once you know the like secret behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, the story is done. But that doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. It's about shooting stuff.
At least there is story this time.
Yeah, well, I guess.
Maybe it'd be better without a story.
And also, right at the end of Borderlands 2, it's like, oh shit, sequels. Very unsubtle.
Well, they'd already registered the trademark ages ago for Border Worlds.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
And that is basically what happens at the end. Where... I guess it's not really a big enough spoiler to matter, but it's like a big star map appears and then some vault symbols appear on different planets. It's like, oh shit!
Clearly we're going to have to go to all these places.
Everyone kind of knew that was coming, I think. If you knew about Border Worlds, then yeah. It's like, that was bound to happen. But at least it gives them, like, as I say, if Borderlands 2 is more of the sort of iteration to refine the first game, you know, that like the first game will put something out there, see what people think, then this game will make it as right as we can. Based on the feedback, and then the next one's like, right, well, let's go experimental again.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I hope so.
They've still got to get rid of the
I think that's
DLC
a good rhythm.
I
think that's a good rhythm. The sequel, you know, once you've played one game, having one follow up to that sort of just picks out the problems and makes them better is a good thing. But then once you've played that, it's like, I think by a third game you're probably getting fatigued unless they start to mix things up.
Yeah. So
it's like what I'm having with Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed 2 did the mix things up thing at that point, and then the second game was like, okay, Brotherhood was like, oh yeah, you know, this is you know, still this is kind of similar, but it's fine. It's fine. They've fixed a few things and left a few things still crappy, and it's like, and so now it's like I'm fatigued, and it's like, well, I don't want to. If the next one is as similar to Brotherhood as everyone says and as pointless, and it's like, well, do I really want to play it? You know, do I really want to go through that exact experience again?
Yeah.
Revelation.
So let's hope they change it.
So, in one more thing that I played, briefly.
Yeah, sure.
In between all this other stuff, I still managed to get into Guild Wars 2 just a little bit. Not nearly as much, though.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been about again.
Well, that doesn't help. Rob hasn't been around to drag me into Guild Wars 2. But I also, we got the IRC guys all got together to do a couple of more of the dungeon runs.
Alright, yeah. So you've done some raiding, as it were.
Although not actually new ones. It was because I've only still done the first dungeon, and we went through that again. I'd only done it in story mode, and then there's 3 different routes you can take in explorer mode, which is even harder. And we went through story again, but also one of the explorer routes, so I've at least done some more of it.
Right, I see.
But that was pretty funny, because we got to this point where we had this thing we had to defend or whatever, but then everyone needed a break, because there was a TV show that someone was streaming. So everyone was like, okay, 15-minute break. So while they were watching their thing, I was just like, I'm going to explore this room.
Okay.
And jump on things and stuff. And then I discovered, you can jump on top of the back of this chair, and on top of this candlestick, and then on top of the wall, and then you can walk through the wall, and then you get outside the level.
You managed to find your way out of the game.
Yeah. And so after I jumped over the wall and found my way outside the wall, and it was like, well, this is actually pointless because there's not anything out here, obviously. But then I discovered another way where you can jump up onto that bit of wall that you can phase through and drop onto the other side of the wall. But if you stay on top of the wall, you can run around the edge of the room, use the engineer's rifle jump to jump over a doorway to land on another bit of the wall, walk around the edge of that, jump off, and then you fall into another bit of the level. And I was like, sweet.
I'm okay again.
I can find a different way into another bit but unfortunately, as it turns out, that's another bit of level that leads into that room rather than leads out of that room, if you see what I mean. That's another route to get to this room rather than the next bit.
So you're back where you started?
Yeah, so I was just... and of course, because the mission triggers don't happen, there's nothing out there anyway, so...
Yeah.
I'm just going to run around in an empty space for a while. And then when everyone came back, and we actually continued on with the thing, and got through this room and went into this little, hidden chamber, it was you can run up this weird scaffolding. And everyone was like, oh, it has a balcony. And so I went up there and I was like, wait, you can probably jump across these things.
Yeah.
And I jumped across the things and landed on a bit of wall and walked into a thing and jumped into a little alcove behind some vines. And I was like, wait, this isn't me falling out of the level. This is actually a legitimate secret.
This is a true secret.
So I discovered this pointless little secret in the Ascalonian catacombs where you climb up this thing, jump through these vines, and then there's just a room filled with turkeys.
Oh, awesome.
I was like, wow, random turkeys. That's weird.
Found a crazy Easter egg. Eat turkey egg.
Was there a Chivo for that? Finding the turkey room?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not like one of the jumping puzzle achievements. Which, as me and Rob discovered another one of those.
Yeah,
well, I sort of figured it might be a jumping puzzle, but I hadn't worked out where the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Because it was just this big sort of vertical canyon with a river at the bottom and a bunch of junk platforms. But I just went...
Then we were like, wait, hang on, there's something up there. How the shit do we get up there?
Yeah.
It's a really annoying one, though, because if you pick it up, you have to go round the whole loop again. It's quite a long loop.
There's no way back up.
Yeah.
You have to, run
go
out.
Back outside the world, back into the cave at the start, and then make your way through it again. And it's quite a long loop. So now, of course, I fucked it up several times.
Luckily, it's not a very long jumping puzzle, relatively speaking.
No, but if you mess it up, you've still got quite a way to walk.
Yeah.
To get back to it.
So we discovered that. I sort of figured it might have been a jumping puzzle, but I couldn't see where to go the first time I went through there. But then between me and Rob, we figured it out. And fought the veteran thing at the end, which wasn't really that tough.
No, that was quite easy.
Got the special chest. Not much interesting in it, as usual.
I had stuff that I couldn't use.
As ever.
Son of a bitch.
So yeah, we did that.
Guild Wars is Guild Wars.
Yep.
It's good.
It's continuing.
Very good.
Monthly achievements again. Now it's October.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Not that I got those last time, but...
No. Well, once me and Rob get to 30, we can actually go to World vs. World.
That's true.
I mean, we can at any point, but once you get to 30, you actually have your elite skill, so at least you have your full skill bar.
Right.
Gives you slightly better options.
Sounds fun.
Because the monthly achievements have World vs. World kills, of course.
Yeah.
Luckily, they're quite easy to get.
Okay.
Because you only have to damage them. It's not like finishing blow or anything.
Man, I've got so much more of that story to get through as well.
Yep, we sure do.
Was it 13 or 14% is my world completion?
Well, that counts map completion rather than story completion.
Yeah, that's true. It's the story backtracks quite occasionally, doesn't it? And it's like, well, what? Do we have to go back? Oh, okay.
Because I'm only at my main character didn't get much past 50 or 60% map completion by the time I'm at the last area, basically.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't. There's going to come a point where we'll stop just like 100%ing places.
Well, that depends whether you want to and whether we need to level up, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. But there was a couple of moments where we got to an area when we seemed to be underleveled for it.
Well, we kind of went back to the Silvari first area.
Yeah.
We didn't need to do that, really.
Well, no, I guess not. We were sort of worried about leveling, weren't we, at one point? Because we got to the end of the second area for us anyway, and then it started to get a bit tricky. So it's like, let's go and level up some more. And then we just ended up doing that whole area.
Well, that wasn't really going to level us up much, because that was a lower level area.
No.
That was more like, go there and... Well, initially it was like, go there and do the swamp boss.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to do one of the bosses that doesn't just instantly fucking murder you like that fire elemental.
Yeah. Did we do that in the end?
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember.
It's that giant worm.
Oh, yes, we did do that.
You nearly missed it twice.
Yeah. Sort of turned up in the last throngs of defeat.
So yeah, Guild Wars. More of that to come when Rob gets back online.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I haven't played much, well, I'm not sure if it's been any or much Torchlight 2.
I'm still tempted by that, sort of vaguely.
Well,
yeah,
I think
I in a sale.
Like, I think I could do with getting some multiplayer. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it's got co-op, right?
Trine. Yeah. Do Trine first.
We've still got to decide whether we're even going to bother to try and do that.
Well, can we play the first... Does the first game support co-op, right?
No.
Does it not?
It was meant to have some weird... I think it maybe had some kind of weird local, but I don't think it has...
Oh, okay.
Internet.
Do you reckon I should... Because I have the first one.
Yeah.
Do you reckon I should play through that before we start Trine 2?
I don't think it's necessary, but you could. Maybe you could record it. Maybe I could sit here and
that's true.
laugh
Yeah,
at
maybe
you for being crap.
that'll be the next slice of game.
Yeah.
Game slice.
Sounds good.
Salad munch.
We shall consume that slice.
Because potentially you could get through that in like,
Game crunch.
You could get through that in about as long as we spent playing for FTL, probably. Couple of hours.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking maybe we shouldn't make those things 2.5 hours long.
I don't see why not.
Well, I don't know. It's a bit excessive. Maybe we should call them medium looks.
Well, in Giant Bomb terms, they do like.
Are those
well, I guess they do their live streams when they play games for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
We need to think of an acronym that spells like some kind of like salad element. Like maybe it's salad, but oh no, it'd have to be some other word other than salad, I suppose. But like salad something. Or the radish, but radish.
Were you about to say you should make an acronym that sounds so it's a salad?
A salad. Yeah. the happy salad. Game radish.
But I think potentially. Well, that's what I think I said this to Rob, but potentially I think if we wanted to do those live stream things, it's not such a bad idea to just do short games and play most of them.
Maybe.
Like I was thinking, you could probably do like V. You can play the whole of that in one go.
That'd be quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should do that one. Hasn't he got a new game, the super hard one with the hexagons?
Yeah, on the iPads.
Yeah.
Super Hexagon or whatever that's called.
Yeah.
Oh man, people have been raving about that.
It looks impossible.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
It's just like a kind of almost rhythmy game.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that covers just about everything I played.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of anything else, but we're running out of time, so someone else should probably talk.
What, you've been playing, Rob? Oh man, we really are running out of time. Jeez.
Well, I play all the games.
Yeah, that's true.
All the long-ass games.
Because you got...
Spending many, many hours on.
And that's your whole job.
Yeah,
right? Playing games for this podcast.
You don't do anything else for the podcast, you might as well play games.
Because that's true. Record them.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a bitty couple of weeks because it's been a bit mental for me. So it's what with the new working from home gig and all that stuff.
It does give you more time to play games.
It does give me a lot more time, but there was a lot of adjusting to it. And,
yeah, sure.
And people immediately taking advantage of my free time. Admittedly, to go to the cinema and stuff, so I saw some films.
Awesome.
But,
don't talk about Looper again.
No, we haven't got time to talk about Looper, but go see it. It's not as good as everyone says, but it is good. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, anything with Bruce Willis in, really.
I agree. I agree. It's not as good as everyone says, but it is good.
It's still worth it. Yeah. Still well worth it. So, yeah, what have I been playing? I did another session on Your Shape in a lunch break this week. Because I'm not walking, like, as part of my commute, I'm not doing that walk anymore. My legs get properly agitated in the middle of the day sometimes, and it's just like, I've got to fucking do something! So I went to the effort and did a workout on Your Shape. So, still doing that.
Still, like the first time you've done it in a long time.
It's the second time I've done it in a long time, because I did it last week as well.
Okay.
So it's I've done it twice since the last cast. Yeah, I'm still not as committed as I was when I first started doing it, I suppose. But it's all right. I'll do it every now and then. It's better than exercising properly, going to the gym and all that shit. I'm never going to the gym.
No,
it's just a rip off in gyms.
Yeah.
Unless you really know what you're doing.
All you had to pay was like 120 quid for a Connect and then like 30 quid for a game.
That's still cheaper than like 4 months at a gym though.
Got quite a lot in, isn't it?
Yeah, what the gym membership's like 40 quid on average?
They're really expensive.
A month?
Play more golf, I think, is the end result of this conversation.
Yeah,
golf?
Yeah, true. We should
more walking golf.
Ever.
Yeah, we should do that more, but it's like the season's almost up.
Yeah, we played like twice this year.
Yeah.
You should just start running. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start running. I decided to get some shoes. Oh, you don't like it? Okay.
Oh no, it fucks my ankles up.
Oh, fair enough.
I've always
are you wearing the right shoes?
Yeah, probably not.
You need running shoes to do running, otherwise it actually hurts you.
If I was going to do running, I'd probably treadmill. I don't like going outside.
I don't.
Well, yeah, there is something about people watching you run.
Yeah, and also if I was, it would make it much easier to like listen to music and shit. I mean, I have a Walkman or whatever, but the fact that I can just have it on my turn on my speakers.
That's what I mean, because I kind of don't want to do it on my own. But then if I don't do it on my own, I can't really wear an iPod and do it because that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
But then you can't talk to the other person either because you're like.
You might as well do it on your own. To be honest. I don't know.
And also, running is like. In winter, it sucks.
Yeah, I know.
To go outside.
The thing is,
like,
but
at night.
Yeah, that's true.
Bad.
It's not so bad if you got the music, and after the first 5 minutes, you won't notice that it's cold. It's just that first 5 minutes.
In theory, yeah.
Well, in practice as
I
well.
guess you warm up a bit, yeah.
Well,
but
a lot.
But then unless you're wearing the right stuff, you'll have those stupid cold ears,
and that's the other problem.
The extremities get chilly and itchy.
That's the other thing that annoys me is just the preparation time.
So there's that as well.
What do you have to do?
I'd quite like to just maybe if I want. It's like when I just want to go out walking, it's like I have to put my boots on and.
Oh my god! I have to actually dress
for walking. That's the lead. That's not.
But those boots are quite severe. They're like proper walking boots, and then if it's cold, it's like coat, gloves, hat, ear warmers, shove the headphones in there, and then when you get back, take it all off again. So much effort.
It's not so bad with walking, I don't think. And in actual fact, by that logic, it's not so bad with running to a certain degree because it's kind of the same thing, but you do have to get completely changed, I suppose.
Yeah,
but it's
you kind of have to have a shower afterwards.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do. I can't when I do the Connect stuff. It's like I have to move the table out of the way, move the couch into an appropriate location, put the mat out, get a change of clothes on, so I'm wearing something less genie, and
yeah.
And then when I'm done, it's like I've really got to have a shower because my hair has got sweat locked in it. It's just like I hate sweat. That's the other reason I don't really like to exercise because I just hate sweat.
It's like you're not fat enough to sweat all the time. You haven't reached the point where an invert.
Oh god, I hate that. Like when you actually see Ryan on TV, he looks like he's literally mopping his brow. He hasn't even done anything. All he's done is stand up. And he's like,
poor Ryan.
Jeff actually looks relatively.
Yeah, he's got fitter recently.
Yeah, I noticed that. He looks a bit fitter, whereas Ryan is just like this giant lump.
Or as the shirt says, "Fuck Ryan Davis."
Fuck Ryan Davis. Exactly. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been. This is kind of horrible, I guess, but I sweat easily. So if I get remotely warm in any way, whether that be through exertion or
heat, or
hot weather or something, I'm a sweater. It's not the jumper kind.
No.
It's not great. I just hate it. Hate it so much. So that doesn't infuse me to do that stuff. So anyway, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that got rid of my leg agitation problem for a day.
Man, I've totally derailed the computer game talk there.
Yeah, it's alright. What else have I done? I did a tiny bit of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Oh yeah,
just went back and played a couple of hours of that again because I never finished it really, and I've never really played it much.
It's like Dirt.
Are they making a sequel to that?
Your never-ending quest.
No, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Is coming out.
That's right. And that's got like it's basically
which might be a bit more Burnouty.
It's like Burnout Paradise 2 effectively, kind of.
Because Hot Pursuit plays like Chase HQ with nice graphics.
Yes, which is cool.
I mean, and actually, every time I play it, I am kind of pleasantly surprised at just how good that game looks. Actually, and it runs at 120 frames for me on my system. And it's like it's a pretty game. I just love a lot of the little, like the way the smoke builds around the tires when you're drifting. That just looks good. It looks kind of real, and you know when it's all chucking it down with rain and there's a bit of spray coming off your wheels, and it's a good looking game, real good looking. Yeah. It's in a kind of pretty way most of the time, rather than necessarily real sometimes. But it's
an arcade racer, so.
But yeah, it's a real good looking game. It's a shame that the photo mode in it is kind of shit, because it lets you set up this perfect shot and everything, and you're like, I'm going to take it, and then it takes it at 720p. And it's like, and I want it at 1080 with, like, all the glory that I can see it in right now, but then it takes a shitty version of it, because it's what it uploads to Autolog.
Right.
And, so that kind of sucks. Which is, that's pretty annoying. It's not like, the cool modes you used to get in, like, the PGR games, where when you go into photo mode and you take a photo, it then takes extra time to render it in super high quality and, like, anti-alias it to shit and make it look really, really nice. Like, better than the game could possibly be, kind of nice. It's like, you want one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's what photo mode is for.
Yeah, that's always cool.
So I did a bit of that. It's alright.
I'm quite... I saw some trailers of Grid 2, and that looks really cool.
Oh my god, Grid 2.
I'm excited about that. It looks like the new Project Gotham for me. Like, I kind of... do you know what I mean?
That looks so good.
Yeah, so I'm hyped up about Grid 2.
Yeah. Well, the new F1 game looks pretty damn sweet as well.
Oh, yeah, but I can't buy that because I only got the previous one, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, they seem to have addressed it. It's one of those weird things, and it's an iteration again.
Yeah.
But every year they seem to address some of the things that people don't like about the last game.
Yeah, sure.
So it's
they know what they're doing.
Who cares? Like each year it's going to get better. So
that would be cool.
So you mean it's actually an iteration, not just another game?
I like that.
The literal meaning of that word.
Yeah, exactly. But they have to update it all with like the rosters and the tracks and the new layouts and things. Who's ringing?
It's my mum. For some reason.
Hey there, Mum.
Not right now.
Luckily you actually had that on silence at least.
Yes, I did.
What else did I play? Naturally, a bit more Pinball Arcade and stuff.
Naturally.
Played the Taxi table some, even though it's not my favourite table in the world. It's just on iPad now, so it's weird because it's like because it was on the Williams collection. It's like I got fairly familiar with it, but it's strange because the iPad version is kind of different. It's like I don't know if there seems to be extra sound effects and extra animations in the OSD, for instance. That's just that were I think missing from the Williams version. So maybe they've done a more thorough job on this new one, which is nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there you go. Better version, which, more success for Pinball Arcade. Corrections column as well. Pinball Arcade is in green light. And I mentioned last time it's not, that they were just talking it through with Steam, but it's in the green light project. So go vote for it now, because I want my Pinball on PC, yo.
Of course you do.
For real, though. I wish they still did some kind of cross-platform support, though, so they knew it's like, oh, you bought this on iPad, here you go, like, download it on PC. That'd be nice. They won't, but that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they'll do some kind of like season pass thing on PC or something, which would be kind of neat, because then I'd totally have that. It's like, yeah, you can have this, and like any updates we do.
Sweet.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Don't know if that's very likely.
No.
It's a cool idea.
Probably not. I want to see how the DLC model pans out on PC, see what the pricing's like. What else did I play? Played some Guild Wars with Zach. Played some more Saints Row. It gets less good as you go on, I think.
Right.
The story stuff is still great, but it doesn't have... It doesn't really change much. It's like I've done some VTOL stuff now, which is kind of fun, but And there's been some dramatic moments and stuff, but it loses something, I think, as you go through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's something about the first few hours of that game where it's just plain awesome. It's a little bit more scripted in places, and it's like, I think the mission structure perhaps isn't quite like the missions aren't quite well designed enough. It's like they're too short in places, and they're just like jump in, you do something, jump out, that's the end of the mission, then you jump back in the world and you can do something else. I think I'd kind of like some things that flow a bit more, like there's more of a do this kind of routine in one go kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's that isn't to say that it's still not a great game, it's just that I think it starts to wear thin a little bit. And kind of the same way that other Volition games do. You know, because Red Faction kind of started to wear out towards the end. Again, for a very similar reason.
Well, Red Faction kind of sucked towards the end because things just got annoying. Like, coping with the increased security presence. And, like, your guns didn't really improve at the same rate as the threat went up until you got until you got the railgun.
Yeah. Yeah, and then things got a lot easier all of a sudden. Yeah, it's got a bit. It's good. Well, yeah, maybe I need to spend more of my cash on upgrading my guns or something. But there are certain elements of it where I seem to be getting better at, like taking out large groups of enemies at once because I've upgraded how many grenades I carry.
Right.
It's just like, fuck it, chuck tons of grenades in there, and that works pretty well.
Yeah, according to the Bombcast Saints Row experiences, you definitely should spend lots of money on upgrading your guns. Just make them ridiculous.
Yeah,
like, make it so you never have to reload.
Yeah, because one of the SMGs gains burning bullets. So you set shit on fire, like all the time.
And then you shoot stuff.
Yeah, and some of the guns get armor piercing, so the tougher enemies aren't so, like the brutes and things aren't so bad to take down, and because they can be a right pain in the ass if you've only got SMG ammo left or pistol ammo. They take fucking tons of shots. If you've got like an assault rifle, then they're not so bad. But yeah, so there's that. Not really much more to say. It's still kind of fun, but not as fun as it originally was.
Yeah, I need to get that sun out my eyes. Cannot go.
Seriously, there's like you couldn't last 15 minutes.
No way! It's freaking blinding.
Close your eyes.
Sit in the middle there.
Well, I've already look. If you've noticed, the sun has panned around the room, so I've already been through it for like the last hour.
Yeah, right. Why did you go with that?
Because I'm hardcore, yeah.
It fucking hurts. Can't look at you.
Not many people care.
Exactly.
I'm like Medusa.
There we go. Oh, that's better.
Medusa. Also played a tiny bit of Dirt 3.
Mm-hmm.
Did some of the Gymkhana stuff. Like, finished off that Gymkhana tutorial that is rock solid. If you want to do it platinum level.
Right, yeah.
So I did all of that. And you get an achievement for it.
Bloody platinum. Gymkhana stuff.
Yeah. And then did some of the hooning, which is equally difficult, really, to pull off some of it. Where it's just like, here's an open area, here's some stuff we want you to do in it. Go do it. Yeah. Hooning! Later with Jules Holland and his hooning!
What? Is that supposed to be Hootenanny?
It was a bit like Hootenanny. It reminded me of Hootenanny.
Hooning Annie. Hooten... No.
It's like what's his face was having... Oh, who's the driver? Ken Block was having like a bad day or something. He's like, what do we call this? And someone misheard it as hooning. But...
What the fuck? That's the worst fictional story. He's just one day came on.
He's having a bad day.
Yeah, he's having a really bad day.
Like hooning. That
sounds like hooning. Let's call it hooning.
But I'm not necessarily saying that whoever he was talking to just immediately goes, like, out loud, that sounds like hooning. That's not a bad name, let's have a hooning. But he, like, legitimately misheard it as he was like... So what was that, hooning? Yeah, that could work.
Is that anything like hooning?
I don't know.
Anyway...
A little bit like hooning. Like, you could get the hoon bit out of it anyway.
Sure.
Hoon.
Right.
Bit more bejeweled.
Jeweled.
Naturally. yeah, maybe that's it. That's it. I
Cool.
think I'm done.
The games.
Games.
I played some more Black Mesa.
Yep.
Yep. When was I up to? I don't know, like on a rail or something. Wasn't it? No, apprehension. Yeah. So played through all that stuff. Those ichthyosaur things are easier to kill than I expected with the, the swimming monster dudes.
Yeah.
They didn't make them too much more hardcore, but they're kind of cool. What's going on? Yeah, so I'm up to like surface tension and stuff. It's pretty hard, I have to say, in places. Some of the things they've changed.
Really hard.
Yeah, I think I was a bit smashed when I was trying to play it, but yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Regardless, the section
hard.
looked really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, any Marines fight, they always used to be hard, but there's just more of them and it's more expansive and they just made it more epic, kind of, basically. But it's pretty hard in places. But the guns are good, so you've got a decent arsenal.
It definitely looks and feels like Half-Life.
Yeah, they've gone to a lot of lengths to get the feel right. Yeah. But there's a couple of weird, like that helicopter, like I was saying, they've kind of made it kind of Half-Life 2-esque. In that, that helicopter in Half-Life 2 is like this almost... It's like, he never says... Obviously, the helicopter never says anything, but it's one of the most evil characters in games.
I'm a helicopter.
That bastard helicopter that follows you through those canals. It's like and all that, like, blasting you with its, like, crazy guns.
Dubstep gun.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of a dubstep gun. Yeah. I can't even remember how you kill that thing. How do you kill it in the end? Because it bombs you.
Once you get to the lake, you just shoot it. It dies.
What, shoot it with what? Machine gun? Or with whatever you got?
Because you get the stupid gun on the front of the airship.
That's right, yeah. You get the gun attached to the airship. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Yeah, so they made the helicopter in the attack. So when you first see the helicopter in surface tension, it's like when you get to the dam, you shoot one down immediately, right? Well, what happens is it attacks you and you shoot at it and then it goes off injured, kind of just like in Half-Life 2. And then it comes back when you're on the cliffside and it's a total bastard fight, like a boss fight, effectively, which is a bit dumb because it only took like a couple of shots or something in the original game, I seem to remember. Like a helicopter would. Yeah. You had that laser-guided... rocket launcher, which they've recreated perfectly, like every other gun. Yeah. So, but they kind of made that into a whole thing. But yeah, the skybox is really nice for the cliffside stuff. I mean, it looks so good. And like when you're at the end of the cliff and you're going out, because when you come out, there's jet fighters fly across. Yeah. So they've made them the real, actual jet fighters the Marines use, the Harriers, rather than the F-16s they were in the original game. Right. But when you're leaving the cliff, you see another pair of Harriers fly down and bomb like one of the buildings in the background, and then you see them bomb it, and you don't hear anything, and then you see the shockwave, the graphical effect of the shockwave hit you, and you hear the sound, and the rubble from above falls down. It's like nice little touches that they've added and stuff. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, and there's a few bits they made a really hard bit in questionable ethics. There's that lobby area full of soldiers, and that's the way out into surface tension. But you can't because you need the scientists to unlock the door, right? Or whatever. So you go and find the scientists in the lab, so protected by that big crazy surgical unit that's going mental, right? Whatever. Anyway, but when you come back with the scientists, they like stop you and they're like, you should probably scout ahead, Gordon Freeman, because we're probably going to get killed in the next section. And you go back out into the lobby, and the doors close, and it's a big, massive fight where Marines are rappelling in from the roof and coming in the doors, and with crazy music and everything. They've just made it into a huge set piece battle, which is really quite tough, but quite fun. It was quite a cool way of doing it. Rather than just go back to an empty lobby that you'd already cleared out and just open the door and leave. They made a whole sequence out of everything, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, so how much further? I'm most of the way through surface tension, so then there's forget about Freeman and Lambda Core. It's quite obviously Half-Life is quite a long game,
and then you've got to wait for the Zen.
Wait for the Zen part, yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting.
That's it looked pretty good. Like, you know, it brought it up to Half-Life 2 spec anyway, which was...
Well, it looks quite a lot better than Half-Life 2, I think. It's more on a sort of, episode, one of the episode levels.
I don't know, some of the geometry and some of the stuff that happened, like some of the rubble effects I saw, like they did look like they just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
There's some elements where it's not as polished as it could be, and some of the marine animation is a bit ropey. Yeah, but it kind of always was.
Yeah, well, it's no worse than the Combine animation, really. They're a bit.
I don't know. Half-Life 2 was a lot smoother in its in the way things moved and stuff, I guess that's part of the Half-Life 1 feel, I suppose, was somewhat...
stilted, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, I found those Marines a bit, overly good, because their accuracy at range seems pretty high.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Given that they're using the SMGs that you have.
Yeah.
And it's, your SMG is shit, at range.
Well, everyone's complaining about that SMG in Black Mesa, and even in... I don't think it's that bad. It's probably not as good as it was in Half-Life, probably. You end up using the Magnum all the time. Mm. But you did in the original as well, didn't you?
Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh! It's Half-Life.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the weapon sounds weren't quite so powerful as they once were. I made a note about the shotgun.
I like the shotgun sound. I think it maybe it was because it was outside.
It was a lot louder than it used to be, I'm sure. Because, wow! And it sort of just dominated everything.
It's quite meaty, yeah.
Perhaps the music mix was a little high as well, and at some places it's
there isn't much music.
Well, no, in places it seemed like there was music where there wasn't before. I don't remember when you were walking along the cliff face where there was quite so much...
No, there's definitely music where there wasn't.
Quite so heavy.
Yeah, there's definitely music where there wasn't before, and it's obviously all new music.
Yeah. And, the music wasn't bad, but perhaps it's mixed a bit too heavy for what's going on, and it seemed a bit unnecessary during surface tension, because, tension... you want silence or some amount of eeriness. Or,
it was a bit... Yeah. I think you must have saw quite a lot of music where there isn't much in the game. Yeah. There isn't.
Yeah, I don't remember there being hardly any at all during that section.
But. It's 1% of the time, I think. But yeah, it's weird. Yeah, well, check it out if you wish. That's Half-Life. We've come to the end of this Castorama.
Did you play anything else?
No, I'm gonna pre-order the XCOM.
You still haven't played fucking Battlefield.
Yeah, I have.
You have, but we haven't.
Yeah, you haven't. You haven't been around. You've been playing freaking Borderlands every time.
That won't stop me if you turn up and want to play Battlefield. I thought you said
you were playing it with your friend or whatever.
Yeah, but I can still
leave.
Yeah,
I didn't think you would.
I left from Guild Wars when Rob turned up.
Oh, right, okay.
Because we had been playing Borderlands non-stop for a week and a half.
Well, in that case,
you need a break sometimes.
To play a different game,
yeah.
Fair enough. Well, let's play some Battlefield then.
Holla! So, check out the YouTube channel. Be sure you do. We'll add more stuff to it. I swear. And, like us on Facebook and Twitter and shit. do all the social crap.
Dear.
Well, we need that stuff. Spread the word. We're the Saladcast, bitches.
Is that your slogan?
That's the tagline. Yeah, just change up the website so it's just got Saladcast. That's us, bitches.
Okay.
Hey.
That might be my word.
Needs more bitches. Don't you agree?
Perhaps not. Yeah. So XCOM will be out by... have you pre-ordered it?
Yeah.
Right, so you'll have reports on XCOM at least.
Yeah, obviously.
Next time. More Torchlight 2.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Someone else has started playing, so maybe I will actually be able to get multiplayer going.
To that. Yeah. That is what's in store on the Saladcast.
For me, at least.
Well, I'm going to play some more Saints Row. I'm going to try and get through that. And
Guild Wars.
Maybe some trying. And then, and a lot more Guild Wars.
Hopefully.
Got to get through that. Like Daniel Bale thing.
I knew that was going to be the way it was going.
Get through this. Oh dear. These biscuits are stale. Get some new ones.
Hate you.
Is that other Bedingfield sibling?
Bedingfield.
Craig David
and Daniel Bedingfield.
End this podcast.
Yes, I think this may be the end.
It's
the end. I'm going now.
The Wonder Twins.
Jan and Zona.
Yeah. So there. Say bye.
Bye.
Do something. Wrap it up professionally.
Okay.
Rather than just waiting for the time to expire as we have been for the last 10 seconds.
This is the end of the Saladcast. Join us again next time. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. I'm off. See you guys later.
Rob has left.
Bye. I'm going to take a glass off.